buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Halfway through the working week. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and, well, we'll get to President Trump insisting the war will end soon. There is practically nothing left to target. Anytime I want it to end, the war will end. Trump telling that to Axios. There's a brand new venture out by Elon Musk called Macrohard, a play off of Microsoft, or Digital Optimus. It's, you've heard of Tesla's self-driving vehicles. This would almost be like a self-driving computer that does work for you in real time. They're almost suggesting it could replace entire companies, this sort of technology. We shall see. But of course, there's a lot going on. I got up early and went down to the State House to sit down with Jeff Poore on his program, and you find there's a lot of activity down there at the Alabama State House today. Joining us now is Jeff Poore, host of the Jeff Poore Show, and of course he is editor-in-chief at 1819news.com. How you doing this afternoon?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being here. So anything big or breaking since I last left? I'll put it this way. It seems like this sleepy session, well, there's a lot of things that have people awake.
And I guess last night about 5, 6 o'clock, Senator Gudger has Senator Clyde Chambliss, I should say, has his remedy for the Public Service Commission. That surprised a lot of people, caught a lot of people off guard. I walked in the door this morning. That was immediately who saw this comment, and we'd heard rumblings that there would be an alternative to the proposal that Gudger sort of said wasn't going to happen, moved too fast. So they are that seems to be where the interest lies. There's a hearing today, I think later this afternoon, and we're going to find out where all the different interested parties lie. There's that. The pilot injury stuff, though, has really died down. I guess it's the thing about Stadhagen winning the Republican Party chairmanship. It's just time to move on from that, and they'll figure that out probably once the quadrennium is over.
Now, let's go to this revamp of the Public Service Commission. Of course, earlier in the session, the idea of appointing all 3 commissioners was shot down pretty strongly after the public, and I think a lot of people in the building didn't like it. This proposal would expand the commission to 7 seats?
7 seats based on congressional districts. They want to get them all elected by 2030. So what would happen is this passes, if it should pass, then it goes to the governor's desk. Then on June 1st, you go from the 3-member commission to a 7-member commission. The 3 sitting members remain on the commission. The governor, lieutenant governor, and the speaker appoint the others, and they're confirmed by the Senate or something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that happens, then it's just your term expires when your congressional district holds its election, which according to the sponsor, this would all be in place by 2030.
Perhaps I'm just daft or not paying attention, but why, whether this effort or the one earlier in the session, why this sudden interest in changing up how the PSC runs?
That's a great question, and I'm not really getting an answer. As far as this one goes, the senators tell me, well, this is just a response to what the House wanted to do. It was reactive. Maybe the first measure was proactive, and that's really where the question lies. Why now? Why did you condition us, the public, to thinking this was going to be a slow session? We're going to pass the budget to go home and get back to campaigning because that's what we really want to do. No surprises, no drama. And this session's been anything but that, at least on the House floor. And there's not really a good answer. But all I can figure, Joe, is like we kind of set up and played a little bit on this one, that we were intentionally told, hey, it's going to be an easy session. They wait till 2 weeks after qualifying to decide to do this, knowing there was going to be some public backlash. And lo and behold, here we are.
Well, and I was telling you this morning, like, I am undecided about who this actually benefits in the end. If you go from 3 to 7, is this advance certain special interest, or is this something maybe where you get a more populist element, or it's sort of splitting the baby in half? I don't know. And the fact that you're not getting a straight answer from lawmakers about, like, why now, why this session, makes me lean more towards special interest at play. But I don't know. I think it is fascinating they've sprung this all of a sudden.
Well, some insiders have told me this was Plan B, and that if you couldn't sneak it through past the goal line, nothing to see here, no big deal, as I think was the initial plan. And if people do get up in arms about it, we'll start screeching George Soros' name about something or another, and that will make everybody happy. If that doesn't work, then we'll go to this Plan B here. And I don't know. I find myself seeing, I don't think it's any different or any worse than what the current status quo is. The only question I've heard, it creates a new position in the governor's cabinet called the Energy Secretary, as Tuberville had alluded to. Is this a consolidation of power? It's sort of like a board of trustees at a college, and the trustees get to pick who the university president is. Is this sort of like that? And if you do have one person, or some kind of oversight mechanism there, the governor obviously works at the pleasure of the governor. But is there like one person that becomes kind of the energy czar in Alabama? And that's not clear to me.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it continues to play out. But it's interesting how they are doing this last second. Now, with the budget, how much bigger are we getting? I believe you had the chance to talk to Senator Orr this morning.
I think $200 million on the ETF, which is not as big as the previous years. So we're in the neighborhood of $10 billion, and then I think the general fund's pretty flat. There may be some places where some agencies are getting less. I think public health is getting less. Some are getting more. But the problem with the budget is this: the value of the dollar's gone down, the value of the dollar goes down, the cost of goods and services go up, things get more expensive, it gets more expensive for the state to function. So while it is increasing, we're not really getting much for that increase. So the size of government, I guess, is staying pretty flat relative to the rate of inflation.
That makes sense. Well, and I'm seeing, with that tree that fell through the house I'm living in, seeing our contractor go back and forth to the insurance company, it is astounding how much materials and labor costs these days. So anything the state government, you add the extra level of like state having to build out things. I'm sure it is astounding how expensive everything's getting now.
Yeah, I just think that's the fair point you can make. If they're going up on the budget, if it's not like a significant increase, like 10, 15%, then staying within that range of inflation seems reasonable to me.
Now, I also believe you were able to talk to State Rep Reed Ingram. I talked to him on Monday before the passage of this prayer in public schools bill, as well as a Pledge of Allegiance. And apparently there had been a Pledge of Allegiance law passed, but a lot of schools aren't in compliance with it. Did this pass pretty, like, universally? Like, there's a lot of support across both parties?
Yeah, he got out of the House like 97-2 or 97-3 or something. Not a lot of. They took like 2 hours on the bill to debate it, which is a lot for a House bill, but it still got an overwhelming margin in the end. And there were some amendments added, I think, to change the enforcement mechanism. There were some. There was some concern. One of the enforcement mechanisms was to reduce funding for school systems by 25%. That got stripped out of it. But the way it's being presented, it's a constitutional amendment. So it's got to get 3/5 of the legislature. And then it's got to get on the ballot. Then it's got to be passed by the people. So, the knock on it is that it's a get out the vote effort from Republicans for this midterm election. And maybe that is true, but the thing about Representative Ingram, he's been pushing this bill for 2 years now, and long before this was even a concern. So I do think this is like the overall hope from where I'm standing looking at this. I think in K-12 education, not everywhere, but in some places, there's just a hostility toward Christianity. Yes. And it is sort of the progressive, mood of bureaucracy and teachers right now. There's a lot of that, and the hope here is you do something like this, you put that in place, and it at least mandates a situation where at least you can get exposed to it instead of this, like I said, just this hostility toward organized religion, that our higher power ought to be the state, the government, whatever. They're the ones who are going to fix your problems, not your silly God or whatever. And that, whether we like it or not, we have to acknowledge that's kind of present in our education system in 2026.
I think you're absolutely right. And obviously I'm in full support of this. And even if it is, there are, political aspects to it about get out the vote and stuff, and plenty of hypocrites who claim to be Christians. That's a lot of the world without me necessarily pointing the finger. Just offering this sort of encouragement to kids in public education, it's worth all the other nonsense that's out there, that if a kid actually finds solace, consolation in prayer, or it leads them, maybe plant seeds down the road, it's worth it. And I think I think this vote of the people statewide will be massively for it.
Well, and let me say this about it. We're always talking about test scores and, the decline in results from public education. And we're talking about discipline problems. And the drill. We hear this all the time. And it's like the government's searching for a solution to these problems. And I've always maintained that the government can do a little bit, but there's a cultural problem. Can the government solve cultural problems? Can the government come in and this is a government solution, don't get me wrong, but sure. The idea here is that you're at least enabling a different aspect of the culture to enter into the equation by doing this. That we're not just saying by mandating, by constitutional fiat, thou shalt have a Christian prayer in our schools or whatever. But if you at least have this exposure, because there's a trend in public education in Alabama, whether we want to talk about it or not, but yeah, discipline problems, you've got obviously declining results. When did it all start? And a lot of people, including Representative Ingram, would say it kind of started when we tried to strip God out of school, that we took this idea of the separation of church and state to its absolute like extreme, and this is where things go wrong. So the idea is at least you enter this into the equation. Maybe you have to do it a little differently, just based on our constitutional protections. And we don't want a theocracy. We want people to come to. If you're a Christian, you want them to come to it with their own free will, and not by some kind of mandate. But at least you're getting the exposure to it and showed that there is a different way than down the path they're going. Amen.
Now, not to bring back up all the palace intrigue, and thank God it has died down over there some, but I see I read this after I saw it this morning, that Cam Ward is an op-ed that's at 1819, and just for the audience out there, this is like the final two sentences Cam Ward writes, saying, "Dividing, dismembering, and destroying our Alabama Republican Party from within simply opens the door for Democrats to snatch away our supermajority and stop our conservative reforms dead in their tracks, rather than continuing to ratchet up ALGOP infighting on increasingly serious DEFCON levels and risking all we have gained. Perhaps all involved would be wise to follow the words of the greatest Republican, Ronald Reagan, who said, 'Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope with conflict by peaceful means.'" I thought this piece was well written, but I also thought, what's wrong with a little healthy infighting? I don't think it's. What's your opinion on this? Do you think the infighting is actually going to open the door to the Democrats?
No, not at all. Not in this state. It's just it's a Republican state now for the time being, and it's not going to change. Not in our lifetime, Joey. So whenever I hear people play that card that we're going to give up our supermajority and we're going to have another 100 years of Democrat rule, it's just not happening. Okay. But the other part of that, it's like this push against closed primaries and some of the things that the Alabama Republican Party wants, and I think that's where some of this comes from. Look, it's just that there is a disconnect. It is tangible. It is, not debatable. There is a gulf between where the grassroots activists in the Alabama Republican Party, those who sit on the state executive committee, and the way they view the world, versus the people who are elected that operate, that legislate from this building I'm in right now, and how do you bridge that divide? And there's a bunch of different things going on there. We could talk about primaries and turnout and elections, and special interest and all of that. But the fact of the matter is it exists, and at some point that's got to shrink, or you just have these situations boiling up all the time.
Yeah, and I think some infighting and within the family is actually a healthy exercise. I like Cam Ward, but I saw this and I go, well, it seemed like a cover for a particular side in the name of unity, which is a classic move. Like I said, though, well written. Anyway,
I think you're spot on with that.
Well, I appreciate it as always, Jeff. And if folks want to check out what you're up to, or in particular with 1819 News, how they can get things delivered right to their mailbox or email inbox, how can they do so?
Right, 1819 News, 1819news.com. You can follow the link, subscribe to the newsletter, get it every morning, except on Sunday. We do it on Sunday afternoon. But also you can follow me at x.com/Jeff_Poor. Well,
appreciate it as always, man. See you next week.
Thanks for having me on.
Again, Jeff Poor, always appreciate his time. And yeah, it was supposed to be a sleepy session, and it ain't been sleepy at all. But I don't have a problem with that. We got to hit a break here. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Good afternoon, Capital City. It's yours truly, DJ Fresh, broadcasting live from Blue Water Broadcasting's Warm Hearts for Seniors donation drive that's going down right now to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium. And right now, we're collecting much-needed supplies which will provide vital home and community-based services for seniors, disabled adults, and, of course, their caregivers right here in the area. I'll be broadcasting live until 1 p.m. from Premier Portable Buildings of Prattville, all right, right here off of Highway 31 South, just before the River Bridge. Pull up on us. I'll be here with the barrel until 1 p.m. Of course, if you can't make it to this location, you can also go to our website at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and find out our other sponsored locations. We're looking for donations like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, and much more. It's Blue Water Broadcasting's Warm Hearts for Seniors donation drive, and we need you to come on out and help us make that happen. It's DJ Fresh, broadcasting live for Blue Water Broadcasting.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hey there, Alabama. Are you ready to transform your home with style? At Royal Furniture, they've been delivering inspired value since 1946. Whether you're in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, Oxford, Gadsden, Athens, Decatur, or Florence, they've got the perfect pieces to make your space shine. Visit them today and discover a wide selection of furniture that fits your lifestyle and budget. Royal Furniture, where quality meets affordability, right here in Alabama. Stop by your nearest location and let them make your home beautiful together.
This is Jonathan with Oswalt's Apparel and Footwear in Prattville. With all that's changed in the last decade, I really thought that radio advertising was dead, but I was wrong. We opened our store during the pandemic, and we wouldn't have been near as successful without advertising on Blue Water. Practically every day, someone comes in for the first time and tells us they heard about Oswalt's on the radio. I highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Welcome back. Well, Central Command just dropped a new update about Operation Epic Fury. So without further ado, I want to jump right into this, and let's listen in together.
I'm Admiral Brad Cooper here at United States Central Command, where I'm leading the forces executing Operation Epic Fury. First, I want you to know that we continue to keep the families of our fallen heroes and our wounded teammates in our thoughts and prayers. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank the families of the 50,000 American servicemen and women deployed in and around the Middle East. I'm grateful for your selfless sacrifice, and I know that Americans across the country hold you in their hearts. Let me start by offering my overall assessment of Operation Epic Fury. In short, U.S. forces continue delivering devastating combat power against the Iranian regime. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. U.S. combat power is building, Iranian combat power is declining. And we remain centered on very clear military objectives in eliminating Iran's ability to project power against Americans and against its neighbors. Every day, we're striking hard at Iranian ballistic missile and drones. To date, we have struck more than 5,500 targets inside Iran, including more than 60 ships using a variety of precision weapon systems. Just yesterday, we had strike waves nearly every hour from different locations and directions going into Iran. We also took out the last of 4 Soleimani-class warships. That's an entire class of Iranian ships now out of the fight. I'd characterize our strikes as being unpredictable, dynamic, and decisive. Since the first 24 hours of this campaign, Iranian ballistic missile and drone attacks have dropped drastically. But it's worth pointing out that Iranian forces continue to deliberately target innocent civilians in Gulf countries while hiding behind their own people as they launch attacks from highly populated cities in Iran. Of course, forces executing Operation Epic Fury aren't just defending against Iranian threats. We are methodically dismantling them by hitting Iranian missiles and drones, as we also strike their defense industrial base. Just last night, our bomber force hit a large ballistic missile manufacturing facility, as an example. So it's not just about what's shooting at us today, it's also about eliminating the threat in the future. Now, let me show you a few of the results from the tremendous efforts by America's joint force. Here, you see an Iranian Jamaran-class warship, a large patrol ship, a drone smuggling vessel, and 4 other surface combatants docked at Chabahar port in the Gulf of Oman.
Yeah, I can see them docked there.
The day before we launched Operation Epic Fury. Here's the same pier 4 days later, all ships taken out of action.
And it's pretty destroyed.
This Bayandar-class surface ship was hit and rolled on its side. Here's another example. Here you see 2 Iranian surface combatants docked at an Iranian naval base near the Strait of Hormuz, just hours into the campaign. And here's what they look like 3 days later, engulfed in flames after we struck them with a precision weapon. For years, the Iranian regime has threatened commercial shipping in U.S. forces in international waters. Our mission is to end their ability to project power and harass shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. From the air, we've achieved a concentration of air power with back-to-back waves of advanced fighters creating constant pressure on the enemy every single day. Our dominance is not a solo effort, it's a testament to the strength of our ironclad alliances. We continue to coordinate closely and effectively with Israel in this very large operation, and we are also coordinating and serving side by side with all of our partners in the Middle East. We're on a path to eliminating Iran's ability to threaten Americans and our friends, and we are achieving this through a combination of lethality, precision, and rapid innovation. Let me highlight a few examples, at least the ones that aren't classified, of how we are achieving lethal effects in entirely new ways. First, our warfighters are leveraging a variety of advanced AI tools. These systems help us sift through vast amounts of data in seconds so our leaders can cut through the noise and make smarter decisions faster than the enemy can react. Humans will always make final decisions on what to shoot and what not to shoot, and when to shoot, but advanced AI tools can turn processes that used to take hours and sometimes even days into seconds. I continue to be impressed with all the branches of the U.S. military. The entire team is performing superbly. Strike operations from our joint force continue, as I've said. I assess that we are clearly exercising air superiority over vast swaths of Iran. We have the most integrated air defense umbrella in the Middle East, and our defensive operations from the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, and Space Force teams are performing magnificently. A note about the Space Force. Our space superiority has been a critical enabler to this fight. Unseen by the world, the Space Force is doing 2 things. First, they're degrading Iranian capability, and second, they're helping to protect American forces, and I'll have to leave it right there. All told, despite this incredible progress, make no mistake, we remain highly vigilant. And I just could not be prouder of our Operation Epic Fury team, and I know the American people share that same pride. To all our warriors out there, please keep up the great work, and Godspeed. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Admiral. Though despite all that progress, you're now hearing a lot of talk about the Strait of Hormuz, with the Iranians trying to put more and more mines out there, while the U.S. has taken out about a dozen Iranian mine-laying boats near the strait. Iran, since this has broken out, has actually sent 12 million barrels of oil through the Strait of Hormuz since this all got going. All 12 million of those barrels for China. And so I'd imagine the idea is you take out the biggest threats first. But apparently there are still a lot of small boats and other means the Iranians are going to try to, well, a last-ditch effort to really make not just the United States, but the entire region suffer by getting mines down there, and it would really jam up shipping. But that said, President Trump just did an interview with Axios saying the Iran war will end soon because there is practically nothing left to target. Little this, little that. Anytime I want it to end, it will end, Trump said during a 5-minute phone call with reporters there at Axios. And even as Trump publicly signals his operation has largely accomplished its objectives, U.S. and Israeli officials say there's been no internal directive on when the fighting might stop. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said Wednesday the war will continue, quote, without any time limit for as long as necessary until we achieve all the objectives and decisively win the campaign. Israeli and U.S. officials say they are preparing for at least 2 more weeks of strikes in Iran. Trump himself declined to specify a particular timeline for when the war will end. But on Tuesday, the U.S. received intelligence that suggested Iran had started laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, of course, one of the world's most critical choke points for oil supply. Officials say it's unclear how many mines Iran has deployed, but the assessment is that the number is very small. Trump confirmed to Axios that U.S. strikes on Tuesday destroyed 16 mine-laying boats and disrupted Iranian plans. And, of course, you heard Admiral Cooper there say U.S. forces continue delivering devastating combat power against the Iranian regime. U.S. combat power is building. Iran's combat power is declining. The Admiral said that the Iranian missile and drone attacks have declined drastically. The war is going great. We are way ahead of the timetable. We have done more damage than we thought possible, even in the original 6-week period. And Trump said Iran's hostility extended beyond Israel and the U.S. to Gulf states across the region. They were after the rest of the Middle East. They are paying for 47 years of death and destruction they caused. This is payback. They will not get off that easy. So Trump has given a variety of timelines for the end of the war, which I would expect he's not going to tell you exactly when. Why would he? But he generally predicted a month's worth of bombing. He outlined 4 U.S. military objectives in a speech on February the 28th when this first started. Destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground, annihilate their navy, ensure that Iran's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world, and ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. And, of course, you can see all the stuff breaking in real time on social media flowing through. You had Bibi Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, sending a message directly to the Iranian people, essentially telling them to seize the moment. Seize the moment. Saying, quote, people of Iran, we are waging historic war for liberty. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you to remove the Ayatollah regime and gain your freedom. Netanyahu said Israel, operating alongside the United States, has dramatically intensified strikes against the quote-unquote tyrants of Tehran. According to Netanyahu, Israeli operations have struck a wide range of regime-linked targets across Iran, including personnel from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and missile infrastructure. Though you are seeing, like in real time, apparently checkpoints being set up all over Tehran, the capital city. There are major streets by the IRGC. Keep in mind, folks, the first thing that dies in war is the truth. At least the truth that's given to the public. That's just the nature of these things. But I tend to believe, yes, the United States is dominant in terms of military power and strength in this regard. Is second to none in terms of our offensive and defensive capabilities. Is an Alabamian, especially, we're more in the southern part of the state, but with Space Command coming here to Alabama, you're starting to see how critical, not just Space Command, but so much of what goes on in the state of Alabama is part of the central nervous system of the national security state of the United States. The question is, a lot of promises have been made, and they keep saying it every day to reiterate the point. This is going to be short. Going to be short. It's not going to take that long. It's going to be fine. But then when you have Prime Minister Netanyahu saying, we fully respect your sovereignty, culture, and heritage, Iran. You asked for help, and help has arrived. The Ayatollahs and their henchmen are on the run, but those cowards have nowhere to hide. In the coming days, we will create the conditions for you to grasp your destiny. Your dreams will become a reality. When the time is right, and that time is fast approaching, we will pass the torch to you. Be ready to seize the moment. If that comes to pass, what a win. But it's never that easy. Either way, I continue to pray for a lasting peace. The world deserves it. And, it would also play into United States interests, but I wouldn't ask God to, like praying for God to your football team wins the Super Bowl or something. Guess you can do it. Anyway, got to hit another break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Good afternoon. This is DJ Fresh broadcasting live for Blue Water Broadcasting's Warm Hearts for Seniors donation drive. We're benefiting the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, and we need your help to make it happen. We're looking for donation items such as cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, replacement shakes, exercise bands, stretch balls, all that is needed. For more information on that, you can also slide by our website at bluewaterbroadcasting.com for more info. Right now, I'm live on location at Premier Portable Buildings of Prattville, located right here off of Highway 31, just before the River Bridge. So pull up on us. I'm here until 1 p.m. collecting those items, and we'd appreciate it if you come on out and make it happen. Of course, you can always swing by our other sponsored locations and drop off items, or even by the studios here at Blue Water Broadcasting. It's a great thing, helping seniors live active, independent lives where they can truly thrive. Again, I'm here until 1 p.m. It's Blue Water Broadcasting's Warm Hearts for Seniors donation drive, along with Central Alabama Aging Consortium. Come on out and see us at Premier Portable Buildings right here in Prattville. I'll be on standby with the Sprinter van wide open. It's DJ Fresh, broadcasting live for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Real Estate Minute. Many of the real estate laws have changed recently, and you need to know how this might affect you as a seller or a buyer. As an agent of the seller, the agent owes undivided loyalty and full confidentiality to the seller. The listing agent can recommend repair services and vendors, pricing guidelines, tips to help get your house in selling shape, and negotiate offers and counteroffers for your benefit. A facilitator, which is the new term, cannot suggest a price or counter or recommend anything. They offer very limited services. A buyer agent solely represents a buyer's interest and can recommend mortgage lenders, down payment alternatives, and can suggest an offer price and write an offer. Whether you are selling or buying, you need someone in your corner that's trained to represent their clients. After training over 15,000 agents throughout the state and help create and close thousands of home sales over 4 decades, get the straight information from Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. Consumer prices held mostly steady in February, but are up 2.4% over the past 12 months. However, the new report could be outdated already since oil and gas prices have soared since the start of the Iran war. Target is lowering prices on over 3,000 products across several categories, including apparel, home goods, and daily items. The company said the reductions will be 5 to 20% lower than the original price. Congress is getting closer to passing bipartisan legislation to encourage more affordable housing. The bill would overhaul regulations to make it faster and cheaper to build new housing. It would also modernize rules for factory-built housing and ban large investment groups from buying more single-family homes. The legislation is backed by President Trump. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. If you have plans today and into the evening hours tonight, we're dry. It's going to be another very warm March day with a high temperature in the middle 80s again. We'll call it mostly cloudy, with the risk of showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours and pre-dawn Thursday. And some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. There could be some leftover showers first half of the day Thursday. We will turn significantly cooler. Temperatures only in the low 60s on Thursday afternoon and maybe 39 on Thursday night, but then another warm-up over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Joining me now in the studio, Troy Carrico.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Oh, man, good things. I was listening to you on the way in. Sounds like you've got off to a pretty good clip there with Jaipur locally, and then some good stuff nationally and internationally. So
Yeah, well, and let's keep going with what you're just telling me off air, because you just heard the admiral there in charge of Operation Epic Fury straight up say in a very declassified way, we're using AI and Space Command to really do a lot of things. And in your mind, that's not just like targeting. That's not just intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance. There's extra stuff too.
There's full spectrum dominance in the Space Command, meaning the entire spectrum of energy and of targeting and electro-optics and all this. It is a force multiplier that is exponentially greater than what we've had in the past in terms of denial operations against our enemy electronically, and additional force multipliers for our targeting on our side offensively. What I like to say is, and I think I read when I read the my article last week, I talked about Missile Space Command Intelligence and Missile Space Intelligence Center, MISIC it's called. It has been there since the 80s, probably since Strategic Defense Initiative. It has always been the forerunner of all coherent and seminal thought on ballistics and on rocketry. And it's just neat because what's going on out there right now, a lot of it's being contributed from Redstone Arsenal.
And do you buy this idea of the short timeline?
You remember what I told you? You asked me. I said 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I said on the 21st day, there will be decisiveness. Now, does that mean that there won't be strikes afterwards? No. But what I see happening is this, and you did a good job by highlighting what Bibi said to the Iranian people. Hey, your time's coming. You better seize the opportunity, carpe diem, and seize it, because we're going to make it happen. So I think there's a plan in place that will happen very soon.
And that operation wouldn't necessarily require conventional American forces.
None.
There you
go. Listen, I tell people
maybe
this.
some air support.
Maybe, but I'll tell you, yes, of course there would be air support. But here's what I would say. I think we have special operations groups on the ground.
Yeah.
Some of them I know for a fact from other sources that would say that they are there for one specific reason, that's to find and confirm uranium stuff. So I have a feeling we have boots on the ground, but not in any occupational sense. It's in a very specific mission.
What I was about to say, there are boots on the ground, then there are boots on the ground. And a lot of folks think boots on the ground, they think like Iraq.
That's right.
Or Afghanistan, whereas
that's not the case.
The special forces guys show up.
That's what they do.
Wherever they want, for the most part, in order to advance the United States interest. And so, boots on the ground, and there are boots on the ground.
So I think what we're seeing, and this is my speculation based on what I've been tracking, is that there has been massive weapon drops in the Northeast and Northwest to the Kurds and the Baluchis. And the idea, I believe, is to have them push some of these caches with them and then start to distribute them to resistance fighters in the cities on the concentric outer rings of Tehran as they move their way in. I think that's a very, very feasible and very reasonable plan.
And I have a sense and again, this may not matter to the average American, but if you put yourself kind of the human element, put yourself in the shoes of somebody in Iran who hates the regime and wants to see it go.
Yeah.
These next few weeks, if not months, are going to be very nasty, I suspect. The IRGC is not going to go quietly.
No, they're not. And I think that there's going to be a lot of one-off operational. People talk about sleeper cells. I'm very hesitant to say that because sleeper cells require a very, very complex system of control and command.
Right.
There's a lot of programmed lone wolves and influenced lone wolves out there, but in terms of massive strike capability, I think it's very minimal. But
heck, they could just strike New York again, and the mayor will blame it on white supremacy.
Why not? I mean, you know what? That's I mean, hey, who? You know what? It's almost like he's saying, "You Christian white nationalists made us Muslims throw those bombs."
That was a crazy moment, and
what a sickening.
Well, and thank God the one officer who had it literally thrown at him was nimble enough, and wasn't a young man exactly, but nimble enough to jump out of the way, and thank God it didn't go off. And then, some folks are saying the attack in Austin was blowback, and I'm like, I'm not
lone wolf.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Perhaps it's blowback in the sense you got a crazy guy who doesn't like what he's seen on the news, but it's not blowback in the sense of an organized terrorist movement.
Agreed. Hey, do you think that police officer was a veteran of the snowball fight wars there in Central Park?
He might be.
He was good at.
He hopped the fence real quick. Well, what are you going to do when a bomb's thrown at you, brother? I think that's what Hulk Hogan said one time.
Brother.
We got to hit another break here. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing?
Oh, having a great week, Joey. How are you and Troy?
Oh, we're doing all right. I'm better than I deserve, man. I'll put it this way. I love seeing your smiling face in the bulletin there from the church. Really cool moment, and congratulations on that in your life.
Very good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Ruby's baptism, and it was really cool. Deacon Costanza did the baptism, so kind of full circle, the community that you and I grew up in, having Deacon Costanza baptize my child was really neat.
Yeah, it warmed my heart seeing it, and that's awesome, as always. Now, what are you hearing? Because the focus continues to be on the Middle East, and, there's these worries over mines being laid in the Strait of Hormuz, and, you see the markets all over the place in some ways. But, I mean, you're actually the pro on this. What are you seeing?
Well, the one thing the market hates is uncertainty. And when you have destabilization, particularly in a region where oil is trafficked and it's then destabilized like the Strait of Hormuz, that's going to, increase price action on oil, which we have seen. It's been volatile. The intel I pick up is probably derived from the same place as you are, but I love listening to Troy and his take. It sounds like there's going to be some decisive action in the next 21 days. We would certainly love to see that because, that brings certainty back into the market and would allow this, late cycle bull market to continue its run. we're coming off of what I think is somewhat of a soft landing. If you look at the last several years and the inflationary pressure and jobs data, finally getting back into what I would call a normal range, everything's great. But then you have this destabilization, which, in a late bull cycle could threaten for us to turn bearish. And I would love to continue running up, but to do that, we've got to have some certainty. So hopefully the administration provides that certainty. I'm not an expert in military tactics, but so far I do think the military tactics deployed by this administration have been more stabilizing than destabilizing at the end of their action. And so whenever this military action is done, I get a sense that there will be more stability and it would allow this late cycle bull market to continue, which is my hope.
Well, we shall see. And before I let you go, let's tell folks about Invista Advisors. Just kind of, I always try to remind folks, it doesn't matter where you are in life. If you want to start putting together a financial plan, now's the time to do it.
Definitely. If you've never had a financial plan done by a professional, please come and see us. We have a fantastic computer system that we pay a lot of money for, that we are all well studied on, where we will map out, all of your income, your expenses. We will cash flow your life in little annual snippets and keep you on pace. And, that's important when you are owning and operating a business, or putting kids through college, or planning for retirement, or, have a big purchase coming up. Maybe it's a home, or maybe it's a vacation home, or a new vehicle, whatever it may be. If you are not good at thinking in advance about your income and expenses and want it laid out in a very easy to digest way, come see us and we'll build you a plan. And then after building the plan, we can talk about the more complex things like asset management and tax strategies and stuff like that. But we're a full service shop. So any questions you have in the realm of finance, we'd love the opportunity to help you answer them.
Folks, start that conversation today at 387-0094. When you call them up at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Joey Clark talking to Austin Baranco. Want to see what y'all can do for me.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it. You too. Yeah, again, folks, it's Austin Branco with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
So we only have a few minutes left here in this first hour. I don't know if you saw, and we can get into more of the details after the top of the hour break, but Elon Musk put this out today saying Macrohard or Digital Optimus is a joint xAI-Tesla project coming as part of Tesla's investment agreement with xAI. Grok is the master conductor navigator with deep understanding of the world to direct Digital Optimus, which is processing and actioning the past 5 seconds of real-time computer screen video and keyboard mouse actions. Grok is like a much more advanced and sophisticated version of turn-by-turn navigation software. So essentially, like, the bottom line would be, you've heard about self-driving cars, this would be like a self-driving computer.
Sure.
And it could do a lot of things. And it really is. It's called, in principle, it is capable of emulating the function of entire companies. This is direct from Elon Musk. That's why the program is called Macrohard, a funny reference to Microsoft.
My thoughts were when I heard it is like what you said. You could say, oh, this is an autonomous object. No, it's not. It's a macro spectrum of autonomy. And that's what's really kind of cool.
I mean, you need to know how to program it for your workflows, and you probably need human stopgaps. But
guardrails.
Like if you have the, say, programming knowledge, or at least just the business knowledge, you should be able to create an autonomous system that does a lot of work for you.
It's crazy.
And you're already seeing, like, with the whole Claude thing that went out and stuff, like, and some of that turned out to be, which it seemed, but like just people messing around. It wasn't actually autonomous, but it is starting to come online more and more, and just what an announcement. And again, maybe Elon's wrong on timing, but he tends to be correct on the general trajectory of stuff.
He's pretty spot on,
Anyway, we will be right back after this, folks. 272-9228 if you want to get on the conversation.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Iran has attacked commercial ships and targeted Dubai International Airport. And the latest attacks mark an escalation in its campaign to bottle up the oil-rich Persian Gulf as American and Israeli airstrikes pound the Islamic Republic. The war in its 11th day. Tornadoes have killed at least 2 people in northwest Indiana and leveled buildings in Kankakee, Illinois. Many are without power after this latest round of severe weather. A North Texas man facing execution for fatally stabbing his girlfriend and her 8-year-old son nearly 13 years ago. Cedric Ricks, scheduled to receive a lethal injection Wednesday evening in the state penitentiary in Huntsville. He was condemned for the May 2013 deaths of 30-year-old Roxanne Sanchez and her son Anthony Figueroa. This is SRN News.
I'm Mike Gallagher here, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. As we head into spring, there's some good news in the housing market. Rates have recently dropped. When rates drop, payments can drop. That can mean hundreds of dollars a month back in your pocket, money you can use to pay bills, reduce debt, or strengthen your financial position. That's why this is the time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. They're helping homeowners refinance into lower rates and reduce their monthly mortgage payments. Fellowship also offers a fixed-rate line of credit for home projects or consolidating a high-interest debt with fast approval and a predictable rate. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. That's 2 months of breathing room while you reposition financially. I've used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Before you make your next move, go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. If you have plans today and into the evening hours tonight, we're dry. It's going to be another very warm March day with a high temperature in the middle 80s again. We'll call it mostly cloudy, with the risk of showers and thunderstorms holding off to the overnight hours and pre-dawn Thursday. And some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. There could be some leftover showers first half of the day Thursday. We will turn significantly cooler. Temperatures only in the low 60s on Thursday afternoon and maybe 39 on Thursday night, but then another warm-up over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. An investigation is underway following a fatal accident near Rolling Hills in Montgomery County Tuesday night. The crash occurred just before 9 p.m. in the area of Woodley and Snowden Chambers roads. Details are limited, but the accident apparently was caused when a truck tried crossing a bridge at the same time as a mobile home that was being hauled. Montgomery police are investigating a Monday night shooting that left a man critically injured. Officers were called to the 6700 block of Cantor Trail in East Montgomery, where an unidentified man suffered life-threatening injuries from a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment in critical condition. No word yet on suspect or motive. The United States Supreme Court could soon take up a case concerning the legality of banning panhandling. A homeless man from Montgomery has successfully fought the Alabama law all the way through the lower courts. The state of Alabama wants the Supreme Court to rule panhandling is not protected free speech and can legally be outlawed. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
If you're on a budget and trying to feed your family inexpensively, Pizza Perfect has the deal for you. In March, get a free 2-topping medium pizza with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink, only $13. Buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Available for pickup and delivery as well. 2-topping medium pizza free with the purchase of any large pizza in March at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard, Eastbrook.
Join Blue Water Broadcasting for Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're teaming up to collect badly needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, serving seniors and disabled adults across Autauga, Elmore, and Montgomery counties. Drop off items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, stretch bands, and stress balls at Southern Metal Supply of Prattville. For buildings as strong as your dreams. Catch us live on location from March 2nd through March 13th. Let's show the river region what warm hearts can do. Visit us at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and help us make a difference today.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228, as you heard the big boys say. 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. And TS wants to talk to us. She has a question. Hey, TS, how are you?
Hey, Joey. I'm quite well, and I appreciate your guitar strums welcoming me into this quick conversation. A quick overview. I've been researching Starlink, Elon Musk Starlink. And I do know that if I order it, I have to have T-Mobile to get it from, if I want my phone to work, per se. Mm-hmm. I've got to, so it's going to cost me about $30 or $40 more from the present plugged-in deal I'm doing right now. But I just wanted to ask you, I believe in the long run, this is going to pay off. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's super cool technology. I got a brochure or flyer myself in the mail saying it's available in your area now. And I think it is just a matter of following the number, and it may not be worth it at the exact moment because you'd have to change your phone carrier and the other things, but I think down the road, it's going to be that and like some of the fiber optic stuff that's now available also being, I got 2 things in the mail, one from C-Spire, one from Starlink, saying, hey, change your internet up, and I might do that myself. I think the technology is incredible, and, you're talking about your residents, but if somebody's mobile, always kind of on the go traveling, it is what a device, or maybe you're out in rural areas where you're just never going to get a good connection. I think it's really cool what they're doing.
Well, I mean, I've been watching podcasts and things about it, videos about it. And really, since my provider keeps going up, I think in the long run, Elon Musk is going to be the way to go.
I have TS. I've got 2 good friends, retired colonels, that have just put them on in the last 3 to 4 months. One lives down by the river over in like Katoma, and he had very few options like you and like me where I live. And I'm telling you, the startup cost is a little bit, but I think I'm concurring with you. And oh, by the way, this is the first generation of Starlink. They're going to have upgrades. You're going to get more and more capacity. So I don't think you can go wrong with that.
Okay, you're wonderful as always. I love when you're on the show, sir.
Ma'am, thank
for
you.
everything
I'm so blessed
you
that
do.
Joey has me come in here and entertain him in between the breaks is what I do. I tell jokes.
Okay, well, I talk too much, and I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you for
Okay,
your time.
call us back when you get it. Let us know how it's doing.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, TS. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Yeah, I'm a little bit wore out.
About what? Oh, this warring? Oh, ward. Yeah,
Ward out.
What's it
I'm
good
worn
for?
out with the war.
What's it good for?
Yeah, well, it's more also the. I hadn't watched like Fox News in a while. When this first broke out, I flipped it on, and I'm like,
oh, this is just as bad as watching it.
I didn't mean this in a rude way, but I'm like, who is this jarhead? I don't know. Like, he's not saying much of anything. And, it seems like the true experts or the true expertise, they either have to keep their mouth shut on like a big platform like Fox News, or they're just told to do generic.
So remember this, that whenever you look at these analysts, military guest analysts, most of them are flag officers. By nature, they are political creatures to a degree. They have to be to get to that level. Thus, they're either very opposed or or you'll find them critiquing things that really I find it to be distasteful. But at any rate, I think that there's some good ideas out there. But here's the deal. The best people to talk to, I'm not saying like me, but operators that have been there and done it, I understand what's necessary with that particular sect of Islam. And it's we just talked about it during the break, Joey. Even once this is concluded and we've put our finishing touches on it, we're going to find that Islam is going to rear its head, not in the form of ISIS so much, but in the form of Shia fundamentalism.
Yeah, and that will be, not just a problem for the United States, but everybody in the region.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Now, there is one angle to the war that's more, I think, less important to the actual living and dying.
Yeah.
But, and I'm reading this, just keep it in mind.
Okay.
Grain of salt, folks. I'm reading this from NBC News.
Okay.
But Iran war elevates Marco Rubio in Trump's 2028 succession jockeying. Now, again, you got to wonder who's feeding this to NBC, but it's, palace intrigue. We might as well entertain it a little bit. In the early hours of February 28th, President Donald Trump and his administration joined Israel in launching a wave of strikes on Iran that would reverberate across the Middle East. That night, he was schmoozing at Mar-a-Lago with some of his top administration officials and political donors with the pressing question, Marco or JD?
Okay.
With a group of roughly 25 GOP donors, including New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft and billionaire Georgia gubernatorial candidate Rick Jackson, Trump asked the room whom they would prefer he support for president in 2028. Attendees overwhelmingly indicated Secretary of State Marco Rubio through their cheering, according to two people who were at the event. It was almost unanimous for Marco, said a person in attendance, who, like others in this article, was granted anonymity to speak candidly. Yeah, that's right, said the second attendee about the informal Trump poll. It was clear, at least that night. Another person in the room characterized the response as more evenly split between Rubio and Vance. So again, even in this reporting, reading between the lines, it's like the jockeying has already begun unofficially. But that small gathering in Florida, Rubio's home state, doesn't necessarily mean that Rubio's the new favorite over Vice President J.D. Vance for 2028. The Mar-a-Lago donor crew are not J.D. people, a former Trump administration official said. Right. He did not get picked to be vice president because of a Mar-a-Lago crowd. If you remember, that crowd was lobbying the president to pick Marco. So I'd say stuff like this is a bit gamed, the former official said. If there were a poll taken tomorrow, I bet JD is still up by 40 points or whatever it is. Yeah. It's not the first time Trump has quizzed those in his orbit about how he should engage in the forthcoming political fight to replace him as the Republican standard bearer. But it's another instance of a dynamic and indication that the president plans to play a big role and is taking an early interest in the future of the party. Trump appears to be relishing his potential to be a kingmaker, as he is in so many other Republican primaries in a race that could potentially pit the top members of his own administration against each other. And all of this is a reminder of how fluid things are in Trump's orbit and how quickly the president's thinking can change. The president has assembled an all-star team that has achieved unprecedented success in just over a year, White House spokesman Stephen Chung said in a statement. No amount of crazed media speculation about Vice President Vance and Secretary Rubio will deter this administration's mission of fighting for the American people. And, okay, so if I had to guess, the Trump administration feeds the media this crap.
Sure.
And then when the media asks for comment, they go, you crazy. Yours is so crazy.
I'm telling you, listen, Trump's in his element. This is he has constructed this world that I can't explain it. He's like giddy. He's almost giddy when he does stuff. And I think that was planned. He likes to get a little idea that there's infighting in the thing. He knows what's up. He's in charge.
An NBC News poll released last week found that 77% of Republican voters have a positive view of Vance compared to 66% for Marco Rubio. In August, Trump told Fox News that Vance was most likely the heir to the MAGA movement and probably favored at this point. But mentioned in the same breath was Rubio. In all fairness, he's the vice president. I think Marco is also somebody that maybe would get together with JD in some form.
That would be great.
And that's actually my hope, is that despite the whispers of the donor class and the media speculation, and which they just want wedges driven in between a lot of these people in the Trump orbit, my hope is there's already essentially been a pact made with Trump, Vance, and Rubio, and they already have a long-term idea of what they want to do, and then they can play it off to the media how they wish in the meantime.
I think Project 2025 made account for that, too, for the follow-on contingency beyond 2028. Where do we go from here after when Trump came back? And I think that what's interesting, and you say, is if you take Rubio and you take Vance, put them on the same ticket, you've got two of the heavy hitters in the conservative realm, so to speak, of Ohio and Florida. That will bode good things for them with their neighboring cities. I see it being a win-win for us.
And as far as the war in polling, the war is so far overwhelmingly unpopular with wide swaths of the electorate, although the Republican base is more divided on that question. An NBC News poll released last week showed 54% of voters disapprove of Trump's handling of Iran, compared to with 41% who approve and 5% who say they either don't have an opinion or aren't sure. Foreign interventions have become less popular with a Republican Party that has embraced Trump's America First stance, which is skeptical of U.S. entanglements abroad. But while there are pockets of MAGA resistance to the war with Iran, much of his loyal base is still with him. 90% of self-identified MAGA-aligned Republicans said the U.S. should have struck Iran, while only 5% said, nah, you shouldn't have done that. Non-MAGA-aligned Republicans, 54% supported the strikes, while 36% did not. So, and also things like this, it does depend on outcome. I think Americans care about results more than anything else.
Well, I think I was talking with my little group of crayon-eating Marine sergeant majors and colonels that I've become since the help that we tried to give for major capers. Is I've developed some good friendships. Their point of view is, and I agree, that the American public does not have the appetite nor the resistance capabilities to endure hardship of combat over a sustained period of time. They want quick results, and they want a clear, defined mission. But unfortunately, sometimes you got to break eggs to make the omelet. And I would say this, and every life is lost that we've lost, and every life that has been injured and wounded, every soldier, every airman, every Marine, every Space Force cadet, whatever they are, Space Force guardians, I think they're guardians. Joey, it's pretty small. We have 7 dead, and we have 155 wounded, and we have decimated division-level strengths of people. So the bar is always set artificially high for America, and people go, well, why are we losing people? Why are we getting hit? Because this is combat. That's what happens.
Well, and I said it after the Venezuela conflict, or the raid.
Yes, it was raid.
It wasn't even that much of a conflict.
It was not.
It was short-term, very short-term, like a really rough evening.
It was a microwave demonstration.
Right.
That was
pun intended.
That's a terrible story for that guard.
And it does sound awful, some of that new tech. But I mentioned at the time, people will probably forget about this, other than like Venezuelan nationals who were really happy about it. This will go out of the news pretty quickly, and it has.
It cycles out.
And so I think yeah, again, they don't get bogged down in this, and this is short term, that this will also cycle out.
But I think, like you said, and Austin Branco just said a little while ago, unfortunately, yes, it's important. I think the expectation is we will win and we will get what we want, but the economy has to be, it's got to be addressed before this election coming up, you know?
Right. And that is going to be, I think, the biggest issue.
That's the $1,000,000 question. Yep.
Where is the economy going to be? And right now, you haven't heard a lot of push by the administration in that regard. Though you do have an announcement that came out yesterday, and we have Doug Burgum, who I liked from the get-go on that debate stage. He just seemed like a no-nonsense, competent fella. And this is Burgum talking about the oil refinery. They're going to build, I think, the first oil refinery in 50 years?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Going to be opened up there at Brownsville, Texas. Let's listen in to the Secretary of Interior.
Something that would have never happened under the Obama or Biden administrations, who are essentially anti-hydrocarbons. President Trump, with his energy dominance, which means energy abundance, which means have energy to sell to our friends and allies, and have enough of that it helps get prices down for American consumers. But this refinery announcement, it's a win. It's a win for American workers. It's a win for American consumers. It's a win for America, and it's a win for American shale producers, because this refinery, $300 billion project, is going to be tuned to handle those sweet light crudes that come from the Permian, come from the Bakken, and it's going to produce, it's going to be handling enormous amounts of throughput, and it's going to be able to put gas, diesel, jet fuel on the U.S. markets and help lower the prices. More competition in refining is great. We got lots of oil, having more competition here. So again, President Trump's energy dominance agenda in action, because all of this happened, the permitting and moving this project forward has happened in the time frame since he became president. Yeah. He's working at Trump speed to make sure we've got the infrastructure, again, for peace abroad, prosperity at home.
So it's a good development, and hopefully all this just flows together as we get closer and closer to the midterm.
You know, it's funny, as I sit here and listen to all this talk, and it kind of cyclical through many administrations about fossil fuels, non-fossil fuels. Had we just done the right thing and invested in nuclear power, like we should have, and we would have such a better foundation to be able to make decisions economically and wage wars and things of that nature. It's just very myopic and very, 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 very damning. And I think we should be doing something. I listen to a great podcast occasionally. I'm friends with a guy by the name Ryan Williams. He has War on the Rocks, and he has some of the heavy hitters coming in that are talking. I heard the Department of Defense Undersecretary for Defense for Industrial Base Modernization, and it was a fascinating conversation about how they're using best practices, smaller companies, AI, to try to ramp up and get us ready. Because let's be honest, Joey, here's the other thing about this conflict that we're in right now. We're burning through a lot of stocks.
Yes.
And we better have a plan for rejuvenation. And my offer is this. You want to get the economy jump-started? Start getting these companies pumping out 3 shifts a day, 24 hours a day. And right now, most of our manufacturers are doing 1 shift. We need to be pumping out 3 times as much as we
And you need like I saw a guy on Sean Ryan, can't remember his name, where it was like they were commissioned to build tiny fighters.
Yes.
Like 6-foot fighters even. And these things could cost about $100,000. You could produce millions of them.
Swarms of
And that's just one company. Of course, there's Palmer Luckey and his company. And there's a lot of different of these new startups. And I think actually making the incumbents in the defense contractor world a little nervous is a good thing. A very good thing indeed. As much as we also rely on them. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Ayatollah of rock and roller, baby.
What's up, Soldier Boy?
You've heard of small Ayatollah and tiny Ayatollah. I am tall Ayatollah.
All right, how tall are you?
6'5".
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he's tall.
Hey, how big of a fella are you? When's the last time you had a good country butt whipping?
What's that?
You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. He's a comedian guy that does prank calls. Sorry.
You know what? I understand what the main enemy of this country is.
Mm-hmm.
It is not individuals or peoples or so-called activists building pipe bombs. Activists. I love that term.
They're not
Just activists. and that is the media. This media is trying to play down. They want us to look bad that Trump is losing the war just because it's Trump. Anybody else be leading it, it'd be an amazing feat going on right now. If Biden was doing as good as Trump was, if you put Biden and plug it in where Trump is right now, oh, he's doing great. He's doing wonderful. Because Trump could cure cancer, and it wouldn't matter.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Go ahead, Troy.
No, I said you're absolutely right. Listen. I've gotten into some debates. I wouldn't call them debates. I've been fighting with some people on social media, just idiots. I mean, idiots. This Dutch. I think it's a Russian bot, probably. But anyways, it doesn't matter. The pure hatred and vitriol and hubris people have towards this man, who's done more for this country than they deserve. But that tells you what, Soldier Boy? It tells us their hatred is so great, they want to see the demise of our republic at all cost.
Exactly. That's exactly. They hate this country. Period.
Yep.
And they want it so bad. They'll make. I mean, I listen to their news once in a while, just to listen to their sites.
Yeah.
Because I get a better laugh out of them sometimes than Gutfeld, because
Me too.
Gutfeld's great, but their lies are so thick and everything. Oh man. I mean, he's already brought down 80% of the ballistic missiles, right? Do you remember he used to do ballistic missiles? Do you remember the Germans when they used it against Britain with the V bombs?
Yeah, the V2s. Yeah.
Yeah, there were ballistic missiles. They were like drones, weren't they?
Well, they were a buzz bomb. They called them buzz bombs, but they were kind of a drone, really. If you think about it, it wasn't a pure ballistic missile like a V2, but yeah, they had buzz bombs that were drones. But listen, the Germans were ahead of everything for so long. They had radar. They were guiding stuff with radio telemetry in the 1930s, man.
Well, you know what that is? The reverse engineering from UFOs.
Yeah, that's possible. It's possible.
Or maybe they got all occult, like the Nazis got so desperate.
They got all the arc and all that stuff.
Right.
You remember that? I remember the P-38 Lightning.
One of my favorite aircraft. One of my favorite aircraft. Yes.
Oh, you have that P-38?
I love the P-38, and I love the Super Cobra, the King Cobra, the P-59, which was. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, what about it? What about the P-38?
They were supercharged.
Well, no, yeah, right. What's interesting though is under 10,000 feet, that plane was unbeatable. It had a 30-millimeter cannon in its nose, and the Russians killed more Nazi flyers with that piece of equipment that America said, no, we're not interested in it. So we gave it in the Lend-Lease Act to Russia. We're talking about the P-39 Air Cobra. It was designed to have a supercharger, but they opted to take it out at the end. And the Russians didn't have any problem killing with it.
Yeah, I can tell you how reverse engineering is effect, okay? At the end of the war, one of the two fastest airplanes, other than the Messerschmitt 262 Ramjet Air.
Right.
But, I mean, it wasn't even a fighter. It was basically a rocket with a gun in the front.
And it didn't have much fuel capacity either to run very well.
They said guys used to pass out because the smell of the fuel was so bad in there.
I imagine.
If it got hit, one spark, because it's jet fuel is like a light up in a heartbeat,
Yep.
But we're doing 600 miles. I think it was like 600 miles an hour on a P-51 Mustang or a P-38 towards the end of the war.
Yep.
How is it that 4 or 5 years later, wow, guess what? We're breaking the sound barrier.
UFOs. It's got to be UFOs, dude.
It's got to be reverse engineering.
Perhaps.
Or
I don't know.
It could be adept engineering prowess, man.
It could be those guys were just that good. But I got to hit my bottom hour break. I appreciate it,
Good call.
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and on the media question he brought up, it's not just the traditional corporate press. I think you have a lot of folks who would describe themselves as MAGA or right wing who also don't like this war just out of principle. And so I think for the time being, you're going to see it be generally unpopular.
Of course.
Now, again, it all comes back to Not necessarily narrative building, but how does this actually practically end?
Well,
Do we actually accomplish our goals?
You've seen what some of the media outlets are doing. There could be a draft. There could be a draft. I'm like, please stop it.
Yeah, that stuff.
Please
is
stop
silly.
it.
That is very silly. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And fellas, if you just don't feel right, like your confidence is slipping, and throughout all of your life, but particularly you got bedroom confidence slipping. Well, if you feel that, she does.
Or she doesn't.
And maybe, and she's being nice about it and stuff, but you know what's going on. And then beyond that, your waistline's creeping like it's kind of a difficult chore to tie your shoes. That's why you got those slip-ons, right? And you're feeling wiped out when you wake up, so your sleep patterns are all off. You just don't feel like a man anymore. You don't feel like you. This happens to a lot of guys, especially low testosterone sets in. It could be 40s, 50s, 60s. Yep. You're not alone in this. I know a lot of men are sheepish about, talking to one another or understanding the issues here. But you're not alone, and Montgomery Men's Health has been helping so many men get better. They're powered by Men's Pro there at Montgomery Men's Health. They're a men's performance clinic. They've been serving the Montgomery and surrounding areas for several years now. And it's in-person care, not those, fly-by-night online shops. And, of course, they get the labs done quickly, urology-backed medicine with personalized treatment plans. And there are a lot of guys who go in, they feel awful across the board, say they're, 54, they're 64, and then they go in and they feel decades younger before you know it. Their confidence back in life and in the bedroom, more energy across the board, and, they're even hitting the gym again.
It's great.
Sleeping well again.
Quality of life, baby.
You can actually tie your shoes again.
No Velcro for you.
Without having to suck in. So call up Montgomery Men's Health if you're having any issues at all, gentlemen. And it could be it just was a little hiccup. Like you noticed something was a little wrong. Sure. Still call them up. Get ahead of the game. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always book online in under 30 seconds at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. That's Montgomery Men's Health for every man in every season of life.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing. Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. If you have plans today and into the evening hours tonight, we're dry. It's going to be another very warm March day with a high temperature in the middle 80s again. We'll call it mostly cloudy, with the risk of showers and thunderstorms holding off till the overnight hours and pre-dawn Thursday. And some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. There could be some leftover showers first half of the day Thursday. We will turn significantly cooler. Temperatures only in the low 60s on Thursday afternoon and maybe 39 on Thursday night, but then another warm-up over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, we're having a religious discussion off air, so I have to go here now.
Okay.
That sometimes you just get folks in positions of power within religion, clergy members, and this happens in all sorts of churches.
Sure.
Or they just behave badly. You know what I mean? Like they behave really, really badly.
They're really showing themselves as men of clay at that point, yes.
So let's focus in on the Catholic Church.
Okay. California.
Yep.
I know where you're going with this,
Yep.
but all right, go for it. This is a good
Yeah,
one.
the headline reads that California bishop is fired by Pope Leo after allegedly stealing $250,000 from his church. So embezzlement would be enough of a problem.
Yeah, sure, but there's more.
And making several trips to Mexican brothels. And I'm seeing this guy in his full get-up, like the full bishop get-up. But the disgraced San Diego bishop, accused of frequenting Mexican brothels and stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from his church, was officially booted from his role by Pope Leo XIV. Bishop Emmanuel Shaletta resignation was accepted by the 70-year-old pontiff on Tuesday, the same day he was released from prison after posting $125,000 bail.
There goes half of that $250,000.
The Holy Father has accepted the resignation from the pastoral care of the Eparchia, I don't even know all this stuff, of St. Peter, the Apostle of San Diego, the Chaldeans, United States of America, presented by Bishop Emmanuel Hana Shaletta. He, who submitted his resignation to the Pope in January, was arrested on March 6 at the San Diego International Airport when he attempted to board a flight to Germany with over $9,000 in his bag.
Oh, boy.
The 69-year-old prelate was charged with 8 counts of embezzlement, 8 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of aggravated white-collar crime enhancement.
Man.
During his arraignment on Monday, the disgraced bishop pleaded not guilty to 15 felony counts of financial crimes, but remained behind bars at the San Diego County Jail after he was unable to post bail until Tuesday. The San Diego County Sheriff's Office was first tipped off to his alleged crimes in August of 2025 when an official from St. Peter's Chaldean Church in El Cajon, shared statements and documents that show his unholy workings.
Wow.
Last month, Catholic news outlet Pillar reported that the bishop allegedly diverted rental payments from the church property for personal use and later covered his tracks with charity funds. Woo! And and I'm seeing all these photos of him and all, like, you dirty dog.
You know, I mean, I told you, Robin said that there was a period of time when the church maintained that some of their dioceses, they had a brothel that was permitted to be used.
Mm-hmm. Investigators allegedly found at least $427,000 was missing from church finances, with the figure possibly reaching $1 million.
How far back does it say? How far back he went?
I don't know.
How long this had been going on?
Here's what he said. I have never in my episcopal life have I used any penny of the church money. On the contrary, I've done my best to preserve and manage the donations, and you are the only one who can believe me and defend my integrity in the church financial matters and in life. I don't know about that, man. Along with the missing money, it was revealed that this bishop regularly traveled to a brothel named the Hong Kong Gentlemen's Club in Tijuana.
Oh, my. He's high class, too.
And I'm looking at a picture of that place. Oh.
Is it seedy?
Yeah, just a bit. Like here.
Well, it is Tijuana, for God's sake.
Yeah, like you can see underneath the image of the woman that's blurred. Like
that's where the donkey show's at, I think.
Good, the Hong Kong Gentlemen's Club in Tijuana.
Food,
a private investigator documented the bishop using a shuttle exclusive to the club's patrons to visit the facility in Tijuana. Nice. The brothel is located in Tijuana's red light district, an area that has long been scrutinized by law enforcement and anti-trafficking organizations. The bishop is not accused of any trafficking activity, and maybe he should be. Despite the damning allegations, a large crowd of supporters appeared in court on his behalf, requiring some advocates to sit outside the courtroom. One of his most vocal supporters was a cardinal, the patriarch of Baghdad of the Chaldeans, Cardinal Sacco. Sacco called for this bishop to be placed at the Chaldean Catholic Church's headquarters in Baghdad, despite the bishop's investigation. No, you break crimes like this, you steal from your own church.
So what do you think that leader Sato? Why would he want him there with him? Because he's probably dirty too.
In a simultaneous announcement of Shaletta's resignation, the Vatican also accepted Sacco's resignation. Yep, man, just
they got $17 million.
Corruption everywhere. And it's really, and you could find it in all sorts of places, whether it's in politics or it's like, honored head coaches and stuff, your church, and you want to believe these folks with a lot of power and responsibility are actually living up to what they represent. And to defame an office like that. Stealing money's bad enough. Running and frequenting a brothel known for human trafficking is really, really bad. Yeah. But to betray your own office and the authority of your office
and God's your covenant with God. And the thing about it is, Paul says it very clearly. Those that serve in the capacity of the church will be held to a higher standard. This is going to be very bad for him.
Very, very
Not
bad for
just
him.
in this plane either.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Now, I want to shift slightly to something different, a little more wholesome, though it's a bit of a lament, by Dennis Prager, who I believe is Jewish.
Yes, I think.
And I think he's doing okay. What happened to him? Was it a car wreck?
He was in I thought he was in either a car wreck. Why did I want to say it was like an ATV?
And I saw, the last time I saw him, he was kind of laying there, he was paralyzed, but talking and in his wits, and seemed like the old Dennis Prager we all know is right. He's talking about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he has an op-ed out.
Okay,
it's called "In a Secular West, Christian Values Have Been Replaced by Feelings, and It's Left Us Morally Foolish."
Nice.
So Dennis Prager writes, "There's a war taking place in the West. It is not only a war concerning immigration, race, or economic policy. It is a war over who decides what is good and what is evil. Luigi Mangione murdered a healthcare executive, and yet a 2024 YouGov poll found that a remarkable 23% of those surveyed viewed Mangione favorably. A Buckley Institute survey reported in 2017 that 30% of students believe that physical violence can be justified to prevent someone from using hate speech or making racially charged comments. A 2025 survey by the Cato Institute revealed that 40% of Americans ages 18 to 29 agree that, quote, violence against the rich can be justified, end quote, compared to 29% for those ages 30 to 44 and less than 15% among people 45 and up. Well, people 45 and up tend to be the ones who have the money.
That's right.
But either way, violence can be justified against the rich.
Marxism 101 right there. That's all you need to know.
For decades, Dennis Prager writes, I have asked dog owners in my audiences whether they would first save their drowning dog or a drowning stranger. Almost without exception, only 1/3 say they would save the stranger, and 1/3 was uncertain.
I don't want to be around those people.
Undoubtedly, those of previous generations also. What is your dog? Dog's a pretty good swimmer.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Anyway.
That's weird.
Undoubtedly, those of previous generations would not have voted to save the stranger. Most would have found the question, would have not only voted to save the stranger, they would have found the question ridiculous.
I would think so.
As the West becomes increasingly secular, writes Dennis Prager, it replaces biblical values with feelings. The result has been an endless series of morally foolish positions. These include the assertion that men can give birth, that compassion should replace justice in the courtroom, that killing human beings under any circumstances is wrong, that to protect the environment, people should consider not having children, that thieves stealing up to $950 worth of goods should be given the equivalent of a parking ticket, assuming they are even pursued, and that people who enter a country illegally should be given almost all the rights of those who live in that country legally. Yep. Putting aside the question of whether God exists or whether the Bible is divinely inspired, there's abundant evidence that a society divorced from God and the Bible will ultimately descend into chaos. The wise founders of our country knew this, writes Dennis Prager, and it makes sense. Math without the laws of mathematics produces incoherence. 2 + 2 can equal any result one prefers. Where there is no objective standard, there are an infinite number of equally plausible results. So it is with morality. Without moral absolutes, morality can be anything one wants or anything a society chooses. For example, without God and the Bible telling us that man is made in God's image, what is the argument for sustaining the lives of those in their last year of life, usually the most medically expensive year of their lives? Why not provide those in palliative care with medications that would allow them to die painlessly, while the many billions of dollars saved could fund research to cure life-threatening diseases? What is the secular argument for prolonging the lives of those close to death? There is none. The only reason we still preserve those lives is that we still employ Judeo-Christian values. When those values are dropped, so too will end the effort to preserve life in end-of-life situations, such as the conviction for saving a stranger before the dog one loves has been dropped by many Americans. Judeo-Christian values, biblical values, provide societal guardrails against feelings-based quote-unquote morality. Mm-hmm. Because man is made in God's image, no economic benefit could be great enough to morally justify terminating a patient's life. because the book of Genesis goes out of its way, writes Dennis Prager, to assert about humans something it never says about animals, male and female. He created them. No matter how much compassion we might feel, we cannot pretend a man is a woman or a woman is a man. And because there is a biblical commandment against stealing, compassion cannot justify making theft anything but a serious crime, including in the case of that bishop in California. The question is not whether one believes in God or in the divine authorship of the Bible. It's how much moral chaos will ensue when a society abandons Judeo-Christian values. And I say we've been running an experiment, and I've been part of that experiment for most of my life. Don't get me wrong, folks. Been part of all the dirty stuff that's out there and very much of the world and of the culture. No, I'm born in 1988. You can kind of do the math. But we've been running this experiment for a few generations now, and we haven't completely gone off the rails. I think some of that is our wealth, that our wealth has allowed us to be distracted from certain realities. But you see a lot of the patterns, aside from, say, economic growth and family formation, and look at, I know Senator Britt's talked about this, suicidal ideation in young women, and you can point at social media, and of course, I agree social media is the vehicle.
Sure.
But there's a spirit out there that is really pulling people apart. Like I said last week, I think it is the spirit of the accuser and the scatterer. And I'm sorry, you don't have to be like some deep believing Christian or Jew or anybody to just go look on social media and objectively look at what is actually taking place and what is seeming to at least lead people by the nose.
You know, thinking about what you just said, and when we just had Reed Ingram on recently, earlier in the week, right, about the bill for prayer in school. And, you know, it's refreshing to see something like that. And when Anthony Davis, right? Was that Daniels, when he came out and said that, and I saw one of your posts yesterday, and I kind of chimed in on it too. There's almost like,
well, I get it.
Well, I do, but some people could say, well, that's politics. I think that's dark forces moving on people's minds.
And I say in the thing I wrote for this week that I've felt that. Yep. I've spit plenty of poison.
Yep.
And yeah, you can get very, very frustrated at folks. And then you start to realize, oh, what am I even doing?
Right.
Like,
you get a moment of clarity and you're like, wow, I'm under control.
Right. And keep this in mind, folks. It's not just AI, but social media. Like these small screens we have, they're much less windows to the world and they're much more mirrors. And so you could be looking at the same exact thing as the guy next door to you, but you could be full of rage, full of just despair, despondent, all the different dark forces. Or you could be looking at a fallen world and understand that I don't need anxiety. There is hope. There will be a final victory, and I should put myself in the hands of God. And so in many ways, all that nonsense you see on the big screen or the small screen in your hand is a reflection of you and how you are feeding into it or reacting to it. Anyway, got to hit this quick break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is Jennifer Pestruccelli, General Sales Manager and co-owner of Blue Water Broadcasting. We're home to 7 radio stations at a rapidly expanding digital marketing platform, and we're looking for our next great sales professional. At Blue Water, you'll build customized campaigns that include radio and targeted digital marketing solutions. You'll prospect new clients, manage your own accounts, and work in a fast-paced, creative environment. Media or digital sales experience is a plus. Send your resume to jobs@bluewaterbroadcasting.com. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door & Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy-efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25, Davis Door & Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit DavisDoorandSashAlabama.com. Davis Door & Sash, the perfect fit for your home. home.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, Mike.
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Oh, life is all right. What's the score there today at Cohen's?
Like 24 to zip. Had a lot of nice people come in and they bought some stuff. It was funny. We had a lady that was looking for something cheaper than what we carry. And she says, well, I'll just call Best Buy and get one. And we're like, okay. I mean, well, about 10 minutes later, she calls us back. And turns out she'd rather have ours. I guess she realized that she wasn't going to get the hand holding like she was getting from my guy over there, and that's the whole key to what we all do. I listen to my guys all the time, interact with customers, and anybody can clerk you, like what most of the big box stores do. But our guys actually want to sell you and make sure that you're getting the right product for whatever your needs are. And we want to make sure that you're going to be happy with the sale after the sale. And it's not just a 2-minute quickie transaction.
Here, and that applies to the electronics, the appliances, everything y'all sell there, including we're getting to that season where people might be doing some more outdoor grilling.
That's right. Well, yeah, whether you're grilling, whether you need a nice TV for your patio, some nice speakers for the pool, there's a lot of stuff that goes outside that we can help you with.
See, I'll check them out today. You can always shop online, or at least peruse online at thinkcohens.com. But I encourage you to stop by, see them in person at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael. Be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with that Joey fella.
That's right, yeah. Y'all come see us, ask us some questions, let us ask you some questions, and let us help you make the right choice. Yeah. Have a great day.
You too, my man.
Appreciate it, Michael.
He sounds better. He sounds like he's not as
allergic
as he has been, poor guy.
And luckily, I've been spared the worst of that. Yeah. No, I've felt little things.
But the pollen's out there bad, though.
Oh, real bad. Yeah, it is picking up out there, like yellow. It's just yellow all over the place. Yeah. Oh, breaking. John Cornyn now supports ending filibuster to pass Save America.
Imagine that.
Huh.
Somebody leaned on him.
And there's a whole full Cornyn op-ed about this matter.
Really?
Why the SAVE Act matters more than the filibuster. Well, finally.
Somebody gets it.
Now, you got to wonder who's still holding up the party.
Well, yeah.
And I'm sure it's the usual suspects.
I think we have an idea. Did you see what Mulwayne said about Rand Paul?
About who said about Rand Paul?
Rand Paul. Well, Mulwayne, the new nominee for Homeland Security.
What did he say?
He's a freaking snake. He goes, Bernie Sanders, at least I know he's a socialist. He goes, Rand Paul is a snake, a freaking snake, he called him.
Over what?
Here a minute ago. Yeah, it was great.
Over what?
He's a gadfly, dude. He's always like Massey and them. They always cause him mischief.
See, but I wouldn't say Rand Paul's a freaking snake. I would
He
say,
doesn't like him.
Well, I can see why people wouldn't like him, but Rand Paul's one of the most consistent fellas
I agree. I don't have any problem
I've ever
with him,
seen.
but he does. He does.
Oh yeah, no, I get people's tempers get going, but I don't know. Massey, as much as people might hate Massey and Paul for being the stinging gadflies, they're always that way. They've been that way. No, not just war.
I know that. They've been consistently bad. I get that.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. As somebody who has a heart for those guys, who comes from that camp, I see how Washington, Republicans and Democrats, react to them and have seen it over the years. And in many ways, those guys were on the right side of things.
They are.
Because they weren't caught up in the moment of the party.
But the polarization that has occurred now has made it hard for them to escape being scrutinized, and that's unfortunate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, let's we go into the next hour. We've got some stuff on the SAVE Act and what it might actually happen. Does John Thune actually have the votes? I don't know about that. Yeah, and real quick, why is Mitch McConnell never referred to as that freaking snake?
I know. Listen, it's an embarrassment.
Why
for the
not
state of
Susan
Kentucky.
Collins or Lisa Murkowski?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but he just blew up on there. He goes, he's a freaking snake.
Well,
and he's got to face him in a confirmation. So.
I wouldn't want to fight Mark Mullen.
No, he's a
MMA
trained fighter.
Yeah. Anyway, this is part of the program. In fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams, Madeline Cannon, who joined us generously for 2 hours yesterday.
That was nice to see her. Yeah.
They are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy a home or refinance your home. And, what you can control is your timing. So don't procrastinate. Don't waste your time with these online mortgage calculators. It's not giving you the full answer what's right for you. Don't go with one of these big 1-800 lenders or flashy mailers or spam calls. So please don't do that. Don't fall for those scams. Instead, go with a great local company that can help you meet your goals, whether you're looking to buy a bigger place. It could be you're downsizing, or it could be you're looking to take some money out of the equity you've built up to get debt off your back or reinvest in your property or go on that vacation, that big trip you've always wanted to go on. And of course, yes, there are parts of the VA system that are broken, but the VA mortgage is not.
No,
it remains one of the strongest home financing options available, offering benefits like no down payment purchases and 100% cash out refinances. So veterans,
get on it.
Get on it. Stop leaving money on the table. Get in touch with Alabama Home Mortgage today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Major storms whipped up tornadoes that killed at least 2 people in northwest Indiana and leveled buildings in Kankakee, Illinois. There's another round of rain, hail, and strong winds made its way through the region. A tornado struck a Lake Village, Indiana home, killing an elderly couple. An International Energy Agency decree has agreed to release the largest volume of emergency oil reserves in its history in a bid to counter the effects of energy markets and the war in the Middle East. The Paris-based organization said that it will make up 400 million barrels of oil available from its members' emergency reserves. And Iran's youth and ministers said the country now in no position to take part in the World Cup due to the war. This is SRN News.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction. And standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. If you have plans today and into the evening hours tonight, we're dry. It's going to be another very warm March day with a high temperature in the middle 80s again. We'll call it mostly cloudy, with the risk of showers and thunderstorms holding off till the overnight hours and pre-dawn Thursday. And some of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action. There could be some leftover showers first half of the day Thursday. We will turn significantly cooler. Temperatures only in the low 60s on Thursday afternoon and maybe 39 69 on Thursday night, but then another warm-up over the upcoming weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
1819 News.
The new chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, Scott Stadhagen, has now released his first set of priorities in leading the state party. Stadhagen listed as a priority the launch of a program to engage teens and young adults in the conservative movement. That initiative is called the Project Future Generation. He also listed as second, advancing the closed primary bill that is currently in the state legislative session, also increasing the coordination between leaders of the county Republican parties across the state. Stadhagen says that his goal is to make sure that local leaders have the tools, communication, and support that they need to succeed in their communities. Stadhagen says that strong counties means the entire Republican state party is strong. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Ryan Dawson here, CEO of 1819 News. I'm also the host of 1819 News, the podcast, and we'd love for you to join us by listening to our weekly show on all the top podcast apps, both in audio and video format. At 1819 News, the podcast, we are in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama. Every week, we're having important conversations with guests from across this great state, all with the goal of equipping Alabamians to be in pursuit of a free and flourishing Alabama with us. New episodes are released weekly. I hope you'll join us.
A Rainsville man is hospitalized with gunshot wounds that were sustained following a vehicle chase with police this past Tuesday. Police engaged with the driver after that vehicle was reported stolen. The pursuit reached speeds of 90 miles per hour until the suspect hit another car. The driver then remained in the car, threatening to harm himself. The gunshot wounds the driver received were self-inflicted. A police officer in Decatur has been placed on administrative leave after his arrest this past Monday. Elijah Cole is accused of theft and financial exploitation of an elderly person after an investigation was launched this past December. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Starting a business shouldn't feel overwhelming. At Janikin Gulf Coast, we give you a clear, proven path to ownership. You receive guaranteed initial accounts, local support, and the training you need to succeed from day one. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn steady careers into thriving businesses, and you could be next. Start your journey today at JanikinCleans.com.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
Join us tomorrow from noon to 1 at Corky's Homes at 1691 South Memorial Drive in Prattville for our Warm Hearts for Seniors supply drive. Drop off much needed supplies to benefit the Central Alabama Aging Consortium.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is a Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Cherico here in the studio with me. And Let's talk about the SAVE Act. Will it actually get across the finish line? Let's begin with the press conference, the White House press conference yesterday. This is Caroline Leavitt defending the point and purpose of the Save America Act.
The media. Let me be very clear. The Save America Act does not prohibit anyone from voting with the exception of illegal aliens. And the greatest way to disenfranchise American citizens from voting in American elections is to allow illegal aliens to vote, which is what Democrats want to do. We see it taking place in Democrat jurisdictions at the state and local level across this country. So the Save America Act corrects that. And as far as married women who have changed their name, if they're already registered to vote, they're entirely unaffected by the SAVE Act. And for the small fraction of individuals who have changed their name or their address, they can still register to vote. Of course, they just have to go through their state processes to update that documentation. And this is something that the American people, married women and minorities and people all across this country who Democrats are insultingly saying cannot do this, they're already doing it every day, going to the Social Security office, going to the DMV. And I think it's frankly insulting that the Democrats are saying that there are certain groups of people in this country who aren't smart enough to update their documentation to allow them to vote. Again, this is a huge myth, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to address it.
Now, John Cornyn seems to have moved on this. He wrote this at the New York Post. If a man takes a swing at you and barely misses, that doesn't make him a pacifist. It just means he has bad aim. Standing still and giving him a second free swing wouldn't be wise or honorable. It would be foolish. In 2022, Chuck Schumer and 47 other Senate Democrats tried to change the rules of the United States Senate and quote-unquote nuke the filibuster to ram through a left-wing takeover of election laws. They were just barely stopped by two holdout Democrats who were promptly driven out of their party and into retirement. I believe that was Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema.
I think so, too.
In 2024, Schumer confirmed to reporters that Democrats mean to finish the job and kill the filibuster's 60-vote threshold the next time they take the majority. For many years, I believe that if the U.S. Senate scrapped the filibuster, Texas and our nation would stand to lose more than we would gain. My fellow conservatives and I have proudly used the 60-vote threshold to protect the country from all sorts of bad ideas and dangerous policies. But when the reality on the ground changes, leaders must take stock and adapt. And again, this is Senator John Cornyn of Texas, who's in a pretty competitive runoff with Ken Paxton, the AG down there in Texas. Today, Democrats are weaponizing the Senate's rules to block the Save America Act, defund the Department of Homeland Security, and hurt the American people, all despite President Donald Trump. But they say openly that if these same rules ever get in Democrats' way, they won't hesitate to rip them up. A rule is only a rule if both sides follow it. I believe that Democrats, with their votes and statements, have already dealt the filibuster a fatal blow. The Senate rules will change eventually, whether Republicans like it or not. This leaves conservatives with two options. We can either unilaterally disarm or we can stand and fight. I mean, that's pretty not much of a choice. You stand and fight.
You gotta stand and fight.
We can let the Democrats keep obstructing today and then smash the rules the first chance they get. Or we can act now and use the mandate the American people gave this president and this Congress to secure our elections, protect our homeland, and bring back common sense. The answer is clear. We need to stand, fight, and win. Democrats started this fight. Now Republicans should finish it. When 48 Democrats nearly killed the filibuster, it was to pass radical legislation designed to increase election fraud. They tried to ban voter ID requirements, to decriminalize ballot harvesting, and even to send taxpayer dollars into Democrats' own campaign funds. The Save America Act, which I've co-sponsored, would do the opposite. It would make it easy to vote, but harder to cheat, by requiring proof of citizenship and voter ID. These basic common sense protections are massively popular with the American people, and the fact that the radical left apparently sees them as such a threat to their chances in November truly gives their game away. The president has made the Save America Act his number one priority, and he is right, says John Cornyn. But it's also urgent to overcome other aspects of the far left's obstruction. Americans are being forced to wait in line for 3 hours at airport security checkpoints because the Democrats are blocking funding for Homeland Security and immigration law enforcement. Bad enough that Democrats' political tantrum is ruining travelers' days. But at this time of hostilities with Iran, their financial siege of DHS is not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Texans don't need more endless discussions over Washington rules that Democrats have already promised to break. Talk is cheap. They need leaders who get results. And results are exactly what I've been proud to help President Trump deliver during both of his terms. Again, this is Cornyn making the case for himself, folks. Yep. I've partnered with the president to cut taxes for working families, rebuild our military, stop inflation, transform the courts, and secure our border. Now this success story needs its next chapter. After careful consideration, I support whatever changes to Senate rules that may prove necessary for us to get the Save America Act and Homeland Security funding past the Democrats' obstruction through the Senate and on the president's desk for his signature. This could be a quote-unquote talking filibuster that removes the obstructionist free pass and makes them defend their indefensible views on the Senate floor, or it could be a different reform. Process matters, but outcomes matter more. The Democrats' assault on election integrity and national security must be stopped. Leadership means upholding core principles, applying them thoughtfully as circumstances change. I spent years defending the filibuster because the 60-vote threshold was a net benefit to Texas and our nation. Before moderate Democrats went extinct, the rules worked. But as President Abraham Lincoln once warned Congress, the dogmas of the quiet past can become inadequate to the stormy present. The Democrats' recklessness and radicalism have changed the landscape. On these critical issues, at this critical hour, the old procedures no longer align with the core American principles we must defend. It is time for our Senate Republican Conference, led by our strong and strategic majority leader, John Thune, to retake the initiative, rebuild momentum, and get results. I respectfully urge the remaining handful of my Republican colleagues still holding out on the old position that I used to share to reassess the new reality and update their thinking. We should use the authority the voters have entrusted to us to pass the Save America Act, fund Homeland Security, and bring the far left's obstruction to an end. So I guess Trump's threats got to him.
I think clearly.
It's funny how these folks work.
Well, you know what?
They respond to incentives.
He made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Now, yesterday, I believe John Thune was kind of signaling, well, I don't know if I really have the votes or all this stuff. And for folks who didn't hear it, this is Thune yesterday, and let's see who's around him. Yeah. It's that always a bit of a signal.
That tells you a lot, doesn't it?
I think that's Barrasso right there. Yeah. Who is that? I'm forgetting who that was.
That is, she's from out west, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I don't know who that is.
The name escapes me. Yeah.
But here, this is Thune yesterday. Oh, there's Katie.
Hey, Kate.
Resistance to do this talking filibuster, tying the Senate in knots for weeks.
We don't have the votes either to proceed, get on a talking filibuster, nor to sustain one if we got on it. But that is just a function of math, and there isn't anything I can do about that. I mean, I understand the president's got a passion to see this issue addressed, as we all do.
Does he understand that, though?
Well, we've conveyed that to him, but we will continue to make that argument because I think it's important that everybody understand that this really is about the votes, it's about the math, and I'm for better or worse, I'm the one who has to be the clear-eyed realist about what we can achieve here. And so we'll continue to convey that, and I think that we're going to have the fight on the floor. We're going to vote on this, we're going to put it up, and we'll give the Democrats the opportunity to cast their vote on whether or not they think non-citizens ought to vote in American elections.
That's not enough, man. But maybe he's got a point. Then here's just give the devil his due. I'm not saying he's the devil, but you know what I mean. It could be, even with you got Cornyn.
Yeah, I know.
You still have McConnell.
Yeah, I know.
Collins.
Yeah.
Murkowski, and especially that guy with a bee in his bonnet, Tom Tillis of late, who's retiring.
Oh, man.
And so there are four right there that are probably still holdups. Now, you would hope somebody like a Collins would be amenable. She is a bit of a deal maker. But Murkowski notoriously just
takes the opposite, just to be.
And I don't know what's happened. I, at this point, wonder if Mitch McConnell's even running anything in his office.
That's what my concern is. I don't think that the emperor has no clothes there.
Which is,
even scarier. Even scarier. Yeah.
Now, who's running that office?
That's what I'm saying. That's even scarier.
Like, is it an actual Republican or just some creature of the Senate who's been up there a long time who maybe doesn't like the president or doesn't like changing up these rules or whatnot?
Could be Moloch.
Let's hope not. Let's hope it's not Baal or Moloch or any of those.
One of them, yeah.
I don't even want to evoke their names anymore. But here is our own senator. We saw her in that little clip there next to Majority Leader Thune.
A little smile.
And this was the interview, the conversation, as they call it, at Politico with Dasha Burns.
Yeah.
And, of course, Senator Britt got a lot of heat for backing John Cornyn. And
she did.
I'm like, yeah, if you're a populist, you probably want to go with Ken Paxton. I'll admit fully, like, if I was in Texas, I'd probably be going with Ken Paxton.
I probably would too.
But then you see, like, Cornyn, and do you believe him? Or is it just say, that's the thing, he could do this op-ed, he can put out that statement, and yet because of McConnell, Murkowski, Tillerson, and Collins, then it doesn't even matter that he changed his position.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe it's just him running cover. But here is, in particular, Senator Britt talking about the continued holdup with DHS funding. Let's listen in.
Well, first off, I want us to do our job right now, and that means fund the Department of Homeland Security. I am the chair of the subcommittee for Homeland Security. I think we have certainly come to the table in good faith in a number of ways, in a way that I feel like our Democratic colleagues, I hope, will have the conversation about how we make sure that we essentially reopen that department. I think right now we've just talked about Iran. We clearly know the increased threat level. We saw that in Austin, but we also know that from the failure of President Biden to secure our border and let countless number of known gotaways into our interior. We need to be vigilant right now, and that means every single component of Homeland Security, whether it is the U.S. Coast Guard, whether it's CBP, whether it is ICE, whether it's HSI, whether it's Secret Service, whether it's CISA. We know Iran's cyber capabilities, in other words, TSA. These people don't need to worry about their next paycheck. We don't need to be asking them to fulfill their mission, which is to keep the American people and our homeland safe, while they're worried about making their wife's cancer treatment payment or having to sleep in their car, as we've seen from TSA officers that have said they're having to donate plasma to make ends meet over the last shutdown. I mean, a 43-day shutdown has real implications. We are now into day 17. I mean, this is about the American people. This is not about politics. This is not about November. And I would hope that our colleagues on both sides of the aisle would come to this clear-eyed and find a pathway forward.
Will they, though?
I don't know. It's
because I do think there are certain folks in league, in the Republican Party, that are very happy that you have this holdup.
Yes, I concur.
And they can just run out the clock.
Wait them out.
The obstructionists are within your own rings.
The wolves are inside the gates.
And, yep, that's how most sieges ended, is somebody on the inside would betray.
That's right.
And let in the barbarians. Now, we mentioned this fellow a little earlier, Rand Paul.
Yeah.
And he was on with Benny Johnson.
Yeah.
And Rand Paul apparently here gets very frustrated with Majority Leader Thune. So let's jump into this, at least hear Senator Paul out.
Yeah, I'm for the SAVE Act and for the federal government saying you have to show an ID for federal elections. I will say, though, that each state should act, and we shouldn't give up also on the states acting. For example, in my state, after 2020, I pushed and pushed and pushed, and we now only vote on paper. We have paper ballots, 100%. We vote in person, 98, 99% in person. You have to sign an affidavit, and it's a felony. My wife and I went in to vote, and I was going to be in Washington. I voted absentee. My wife said, well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in Washington, but she didn't want to sign the affidavit saying she wasn't going to be there because she wanted to obey the law. So she ended up not signing and ended up finally voting in person. But we vote in person, and that is a good way. So, but there are many states. Look, Arizona, Utah, all these Western states are mailing out universal ballots. They've been Republican states. Why in the world are they mailing out ballots to everybody? The states also should act. Get rid of mail-in ballots and require an ID. I think Utah and Arizona do not require a photo ID. So, I mean, we really should, while pushing at the federal level, which I'm all for, why don't we also, there are at least 5 Republican states. Iowa is one also that doesn't require a photo ID. Wow. So I think it's Arizona, Utah, Iowa, I think West Virginia, and there's one other Republican, North Dakota. All 5 states don't require a photo ID. So in all 5 states that we control, for goodness sakes, let's get rid of it. But let's get rid of universal mail-in balloting. Utah, that is so Republican, is eventually going to flip to Democrat if you keep encouraging the people that are too lazy to get out and work to go vote. And if you keep bringing them ballot after ballot after ballot, and then finally filling it in for them, the Democrats do this to get low motivation voters, low information voters, and they get them to vote because they never have to leave their couch. You just keep bringing them ballots. So we should get rid of mail-in ballots. But you know what? The one place we can do it is the Republican states that we control. We should get rid of mail-in ballots and require IDs there. As far as here, I would initially just have a vote. We will lose the vote, but let's make everybody on record as to where they are, all the Republicans. Let's see how the vote goes. If it's 50 to 50, or if it's 53 to 47 and it's along party lines, you still need 7 votes. And then as far as the strategy of going on and making them talk and seeing what happens, we can at least see what happens with it. I'm not 100% convinced that it does work its way through, because there will be vote after vote after vote. There's a possibility that maybe it goes on for months and months and months until it comes to a conclusion. So I'm not positive that it works. But if John Thune wants to get out from behind being responsible for this, schedule the first vote. Let's have the first vote and see where everybody is. Let the Republicans come forward and decide for or against this. And if you can't get all the Republicans on board, I'm not sure the breaking of the filibuster works either. So at least put that forward. If we're missing 3 or 4 Republicans right now on just simply voting on it, then I'm not so sure if you go through this 3-month-long breaking of the filibuster, it is worthwhile. But if he wants to get everybody off of his back, schedule the vote and let's see where people are.
I think that is about to happen.
Yeah.
And it will be fascinating to see what those 4 I keep naming actually do when it comes to just voting on the Save America Act itself.
Will they all stay against it, or will some of them kind of come around? We'll see.
Now, Tuberville is saying on the floor for as long as it takes. This just came out from 1819news.com. Austin Shipley reporting this. Tuberville backs potential days-long talking filibuster to pass Save America Act. I
love it.
Here's what Tuberville said. He also on Betty Johnson. I promise you I will be on the floor as long as it takes if we can get it done that way, if we can help President Trump get this bill through, because, as he said, nothing else matters. If we don't get the Save America Act, we can do all this other stuff that we want, but these communists are going to come in right behind us after they cheat in elections and change everything back, Tuberville said. So that's the reason this is so important. And any way we can get it done, I am for it.
I love it.
We need to find out where everybody stands, Tuberville said, of his fellow senators. Enough is enough. We had caucus meetings yesterday, and we talked about this. It will be voted on next week. It will be on the floor. We'll vote on it. There will be some amendments. We're going to try to put in no men and women's sports and a couple of other things that will go along with it. Tuberville called out a handful of Republican senators for opposing the Save America Act, arguing the group is disenfranchising their own voters. President Trump wants it, but at the end of the day, we have to take this bill and let the American people know where we all stand and whether they're for fair elections. I hope that we could get 53 votes out of Republicans, because that's how many we have, but I don't think we can. We've got 4 or 5 who are on the fence. U.S. Senators McConnell, Tom Tillis, Susan Collins, Murkowski, and John Curtis. And Tuberville goes on to say, I don't know where Sullivan stands. So, goodness gracious.
I could see Tommy back in 1955. Have you no sense of decency, sir? Right. Are you a communist, a member of the Communist Party?
And then Coach ended with this saying, Leader McConnell believes in the tradition of the Senate.
Yeah.
He believes in doing things that we used to do. My thoughts are, listen, things change. Our country has changed in the last 10 years like you and I would never believe. There are probably 12 to 15 states in this country where it's over. True American capitalism cannot survive in those 15 states with the way they vote.
He's right.
So Tuberville's all for continuing to push this.
He's not part of the establishment.
No, he's not. And no wonder he's getting out.
Yeah, I've heard he had a distaste for some of the people in
politics. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
I've heard some stuff.
Yeah, it's not just the politics. It's the lifestyles.
It's the people.
And, Anyway, the House committee here in the State House, going to state politics real quick, a House committee holds a public hearing on the closed primary bill. Vote is scheduled for, I guess, next Tuesday. But State Rep Ernie Yarborough, who I met this morning, I was walking up to... and I recognized him, and we just walked and talked for a second. And he told me, today's a big day for this particular bill. He filed legislation, Ernie Yarborough of Trinity, Alabama, last week to close primary elections in the state. A vote is scheduled on the bill in committee on Tuesday morning. About 10 people spoke in favor of the bill at the public hearing and 4 spoke against. Recently elected Alabama Republican Party chairman and state representative Scott Stadhagen said the current open primary system isn't fair. And there's a lot of folks, you go down the list, that are in support of actually closing primaries. There are others saying this might be more of a concern for them in their current way their districts work. But I think I'm generally for it.
Yeah.
Now, the question would be, do you get out the vote in that way? And how many people are actually going to register? But
right. And how many will be ultimately deciding the outcome?
Anyway, we'll see where all that goes. We got to hit a break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For many homeowners, there's untapped reserves hiding in plain sight. It's not in the savings account. It's not in the stock market. It's right under your roof. Now more than ever, homeowners are sitting on record levels of home equity, and that equity belongs to you. It can be used to consolidate high-interest credit card debt, to pay expensive school tuition, to cover medical expenses, to invest in renovations, you name it, because that money is yours. This isn't about taking on unnecessary debt. It's about using an asset you already own to improve your financial position and your quality of life. The key is understanding your options and choosing the strategy that fits your goals. Let's see what's possible with the equity in your home. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Join Blue Water Broadcasting for Warm Hearts for Seniors. We're teaming up to collect badly needed supplies for the Central Alabama Aging Consortium, serving seniors and disabled adults across Autauga, Elmore, and Montgomery counties. Drop off items like cleaning supplies, blankets, fans, meal replacement shakes, stretch bands, and stress balls at Corky's Homes, Highway 31 South in Prattville, for a forever home you can afford. Catch us live on location from March 2nd through March 13th. Let's show the river region what warm hearts can do. Visit us at bluewaterbroadcasting.com and help us make a difference today.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
President Trump vowed to end surprise medical bills and hold insurance companies and hospitals totally accountable. Trump wants money going to the people, but Blue Cross Blue Shield wants government and your money going into their pockets. Stand with President Trump. Stop the steal. Stop SB 247. Call the Alabama House of Representatives at 334-261-0500.
Paid for by Christian Coalition of Alabama.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Big weather changes are on the way. I think we're dry through most of the evening hours tonight, with the risk of showers and thunderstorms in the overnight hours and pre-dawn hours of Thursday. Some of the storms could be strong, possibly severe, with damaging wind gusts and hail the main threat. An isolated tornado cannot be ruled out. Overnight low temperature in the mid-50s. There could be some leftover showers first half of the day on Thursday, but significantly cooler. Temperatures in the lower 60s on Thursday afternoon, and we're looking for perhaps 39 on Thursday night. Then another warm-up over the weekend. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Troy Carrico. You're an extra day this week, and I appreciate it dearly.
You know what? Whenever you call, if I can, I will always be there for you.
Now, just a palate cleanser, and there's really, I will forewarn you folks, there's really no point and purpose to this.
There's not midgets involved, right?
No,
Okay.
I know how you feel about little people.
I got to show you what Brian
Can you
Dawson
even
said.
watch The Hobbit?
Oh, that doesn't bother me. They're
Dwarves don't bother you?
No, they don't bother me. It's the angry, real midgets. And Brian Dawson sent me something terrible that I'll show
Well,
you.
you shouldn't have told him about your phobia. Your irrational phobia.
He preys on it, and it's sickening to me.
Anyway,
Brian, if you hear that.
This is Senator John Kennedy.
Oh,
and you'll notice that he is he's got like a big old like Starbucks thing there. Yeah,
it's a macchiato, it looks like.
I don't know what, but this went viral because how do you say it? Macchiato.
Macchiato.
Oh, macchiato.
Sort of like Jujutsu Kaisen. Macchiato.
Yeah,
that's different though.
Well, would you be surprised that Senator Kennedy from Louisiana doesn't pronounce it that way? So this like went super viral with folks just focusing on how he called it, but also like, what are you doing, man? Like, what is this what the U.S. Senate? And I love it because this is classic, just Kennedy.
He's so funny,
having too much fun with his time on the floor. So let's listen into this.
Got this big old placard.
This is a cup of Starbucks coffee. I know that doesn't give you any frame of reference, but I checked the most popular Starbucks coffee drink is a caramel macchiato. Macchiato. Now, I don't know what that is. I haven't had it. I generally don't drink coffee that takes 10 or more words to order. But I'm told that it's most Starbucks' most popular drink is the caramel macchiato.
Macchiato.
It will cost you at Union Station. Here is a macchiato cup.
Macchiato.
From Starbucks. I'm told it will cost you $6.88 to buy large caramel macchiato at Union Station.
That's pretty cheap for Union Station.
Now, again, I'm not telling people what to drink or how to spend their money, but I will tell you, if you want to come by my office, you can get coffee for free. It won't be a caramel macchiato,
He's goofy, man.
but it's pretty dang good coffee.
For dang good coffee.
But be that as it may. So I said, you know,
Cafe Du Monde.
I've got to look into what's in a caramel macchiato.
Macchiato. He's still saying that.
He knows what he's
Here's
doing.
what
too.
He knows
macchiato.
everything he's doing. Macchiato.
Milk,
Mm-hmm.
brewed espresso, vanilla syrup. I didn't know what vanilla syrup was. I found out that vanilla syrup is sugar, water, natural flavors, potassium sorbate, and citric acid. Also in a caramel
Get your point,
macchiato
sir.
is caramel sauce. Makes sense.
There is no point, by the
Well,
way.
they call it
No.
caramel
He's just
macchiato.
doing this for sure. I love it.
Caramel sauce is sugar, corn syrup, butter, cream, milk, and salt. Also in a caramel macchiato is water, heavy cream, non-fat, dry milk.
Yeah, that's where the clip ends.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I was hoping to see him really get into the.
Oh, but yeah,
This
it's-
has to be a health hearing or something about health or I don't know what it.
I love. He's one of the last that does this old Southern
Look at
politician
that. He's got that
stick.
big old blow up there. He goes, let's take a look at what we're talking.
Know about vanilla syrup? What's in that?
Macchiato.
Macchiato.
He knows what he's saying. He's a macchiato.
Oh, what a silly man! Brilliant
He's
man.
funny.
Also
He's
at
very
that.
funny. Yeah.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and
guy.
they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. And the insects are alive,
bad,
folks.
man. They're
As
bad.
spring is sprung.
They are.
You're starting to see all the plants, beautiful.
Saw
like-
the first lightning bug last night.
Oh yeah, that's always beautiful.
That's
out on
better.
the porch.
You don't have to worry about them, but you do need to worry about the other flying
Like
insects.
mosquitoes and wasps,
termites too. Dude.
termites,
Yeah, they're out.
flies, all sorts of stuff you need to keep on
Wasp.
the lookout for. Yeah,
Especially you, wasp.
I have killed generations of wasps, and so I think they somehow
They know who you
know.
are.
There's like a
They pass
collective unconscious with the
They're like
wasp.
ravens and corvids, the birds that will teach each other their generations. They know that Joey is the destroyer of all paper wasps.
Right? No, I'm being serious. They
don't like you.
and maybe it's just a phobia on my part. Like little people for you and wasps for me.
Yeah, they're little too.
That's true. They
I'd
sneak up on
I'd
you.
rather fight a hornet's nest than those little midgets.
Anyway, the point is that there are a lot of creatures, little critters trying to get inside your home, cause you problems. Get Pest Pro out there. Get termite treatment done, mosquito treatment done, and of course you can get basic pest control services done. Get on their monthly subscription model. It's a great way to
keep on top of it.
Control costs over the year. So you can learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Troy, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Again, 272-9228. Trump continues to hammer John Thune to get the Save America Act passed, but Thune maybe does have a point. Okay, twist McConnell's arm, twist Collins' arm.
It's a thankless job. Being the House, listen, it's a thankless job. In today's environment, it'd be hard to be that. That's
Really
Mike
is a
Johnson.
shame.
That's Mike Johnson.
Yeah, well, yeah, Mike Johnson, talk about a changed man.
I know.
As
He's
soon
like-
as he got in
he's a-
power, somebody took him into a back room and showed him something.
Epstein files.
I don't know exactly what, but
Who
something.
needs to get the lead to get that Save Act passed? Here we go. See Trump. He's telling it. You're right.
He really does need to get it
He
done.
needs it
And
too.
So Cornyn flipping publicly, it could be a great sign, or it's just Cornyn understanding that the vote will never actually fully happen, and so he can have his cake and eat it too.
Yes.
So to speak. Have you seen the new Ayatollahs just being mocked like crazy?
Yeah, they're yelling. They're shouting. And
Well, and
he's
at that-
wounded. They came out and
Right.
he's wounded.
Yeah,
I think
already.
he's actually probably hurt for worse than what they're saying.
Alrighty.
Now, there is a CBS News report that the Iranian strike on a U.S. base in Kuwait far worse than originally reported.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And well, here's what I think happened. I know I spent a lot of time in Kuwait. There's a broad sect of the KMOD, which is the Kuwaiti Ministry of Defense, that has been infiltrated by Shias. Kuwait's one of the countries where there's a good population of Shia there. And it is my belief that Al Rafah is an area where the Shia are at. It sounds to me like those drones were already there, and they launched them from inside Kuwait and attacked.
Okay.
So it was pretty quick, and they didn't expect it, and it was bad.
Apparently pretty brutal
Yeah, it was.
fallout, like burns, DBIs,
Yep.
amputations even. Ugh.
Terrible.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Mike the mechanic. How y'all doing this afternoon?
Doing all right, Mike. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I just wanted to call in and correct Troy about the lightning bug. One of the nastiest creatures alive.
Really? I just think.
Yeah.
What do they do? What do they
Because
do? What do they do?
Well, it shows its butt and it gives you a light to look at it with.
Well, James David Manning talks about flaming buttholes, so we can talk about that.
It ain't exactly the virtue of modesty. I see what you mean, Mike.
He's showing his butt. I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, if you had one that glowed, you might too.
I probably would.
Like Rudolph in the opposite direction.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a fantastic
Appreciate it, Mike.
job.
Well, I stand corrected.
Well, and I like that you said lightning bugs instead of fireflies.
Right, yeah, lightning bug.
Like, around here, it's lightning bug.
Yeah, it's up in Ohio and Kentucky, it is too.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Clark.
Hey, Clark.
Clark.
So, red wasps are evil incarnate. You ever look in their evil little faces?
Yeah, yeah, man. It's nightmare.
Terrible
If
stuff.
you look at one, it kind of reminds you of the skeletons that popped out of the ground in Jason and the Argonauts. And,
yeah.
you know, there was a few months back at one of the nuclear reactor facilities, they found a radioactive
That was
wasp nest.
Savannah River site, Clark. Savannah River site where they make nuclear weapons.
Now, here's the thing. How did Spider-Man become Spider-Man? Got bit by a radioactive spider, right?
Yeah.
What would have happened if somebody had been stung by a radioactive wasp and you had Wasp Man? What would his power have been?
Well,
He would have randomly stung the fool out of people for no good reason.
Marvel has Wasp, the Wasp. You know, she's a female type.
Yeah,
Then Yellow
Ant-Man and the
Jacket, they got
Wasp.
Yellow
Yeah,
Jacket
man.
too. Yeah, but that's cool. Yeah, I saw that too, Clark. That was disturbing, wasn't it? It was in a hot area too. They said, and it was like 2 nests they killed.
Yeah.
Hope you got them all.
Well, anyway, yeah, red wasps and yellow jackets should all burn in the bad place.
Absolutely, brother. And fire ants too.
What? They're cousins.
They just don't have wings. Well, some of them do, don't they? When you
know.
disturb this.
Y'all keep doing.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Clark.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. This is Babs.
Hey, Babs.
First, I want to tell Troy how much I appreciate his military expertise.
Oh, I wouldn't call myself an expert.
Makes me feel good about our military,
Oh,
Troy.
I want to tell you something. I'm not an expert, but I'll tell you this. I'm tired of people bashing the greatest fighting force ever assembled in the world, and that's the truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. I agree. Well, I wanted to tell you that I thoroughly enjoy a caramel macchiato at the Olive Garden. And as somebody else already said, I can't remember if it was Gutfeld or who it was, but don't you wish we could clone Senator Kennedy?
Oh, he's the
amen.
best. He's the best.
That-
Dude is hilarious.
I mean, he's a genius.
He is.
But you don't get that from him, you know, as he talks. He's just a good old Louisiana guy.
Oh,
with a lot of
shucks,
common
yeah.
sense.
Well, and he got into it with some like Cato Institute guy yesterday, and near the end, it got pretty nasty. The
Did
guy
it?
yelling at him, and him Kennedy going over his time, and Lindsey Graham's like, "Stop it!
Stop it,
We
stop
run
it."
out of time, Kennedy."
We got a war
But
to
like
talk
Kennedy
about.
snuck this. He goes, "What planet did you parachute in from? You trigger my gag reflex."
My gag reflex.
I love it. I just love him. And, you know, all that's going away. And it's so sad. You know, I wasn't a big fan. Now I just forgot his name. The old dude from Alabama years
Oh,
back.
Hal Heflin.
Hal Heflin, yeah. But anyway, I love the program. And like I said, Troy, I appreciate the knowledge that you have, and Joey, I appreciate all the work.
Well, I want to say this.
Love you,
I'm
Babs.
blessed that Joey lets me come on here and espouse things, which sometimes are probably very reprobate to some people. But I want to tell you something. Thank you for being a good patriot and a great citizen, Babs.
Amen.
Absolutely. I love our country, and I love our president, and most of the time I don't question what he's doing.
Amen.
He's another genius.
He
so.
is.
I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for letting me come on, Joey, and y'all have a blessed rest of the day.
You too, Babs. 272-9228. If again you want to get in on the conversation, that's 334-272-9228. Naftali Bennett on
Yes.
the other screen right there
That's
behind
right.
you.
Yes.
And I have to admit, have you seen like montages? I saw Piers Morgan talking to Naftali Bennett, former Prime Minister of Israel, folks, where Piers asked him straight up, "Do you have nuclear weapons?"
Of course we do.
And but they will not. They will never answer that question.
48 warheads, according to the latest.
Yeah, oh, they definitely had news.
Yeah, they got plenty of them.
What? And it was Jonathan Pollard. Like they stole it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
And
all...
to this day, I remember just seeing Piers Morgan ask him straight up, "Do you have it?" And he would do this long paragraph. "We will never introduce those to the region." He's like, "That's not what I asked. Do you have them?" "Well, we will never introduce it." It's like programmed into these folks. Like we will never admit it.
He looks like Steve Miller's
A little bit.
Jewish half brother,
A little bit.
step brother.
Yeah, the bald, the chrome
I love
domes.
it. I
Yeah.
love it. Hey, so here's one for you. Here's a trivia question for you. Which country had nuclear weapons, and they had them even in the late 80s, but no longer has them, and they're not one of your traditional Warsaw Pact or your NATO?
Oh, so it's not like France or anything?
No. It's nothing. Not the usual suspects, Joey.
I don't know. Oh, Ukraine?
South Africa.
Oh, South Africa.
When apartheid was there, they had developed Arms Corps.
I did not know that.
It's called Arms Corps. They had to fight all these sanctions against them, and they brought really smart people in there, Dutch scientists, and they built a couple bombs. So very interesting to think about.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's us?
It's Charles the First. Hey, Joey. Troy,
Charles.
how you guys
Charles,
doing?
All right.
Well, I was going to tell you, I'm on other radio stations. I was on Dale Jackson this morning because,
Yeah.
I live up here. So it got to be about you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because he was talking about the governor letting Sonny Burton off.
Yep.
And so we get into an argument, and then my argument with him is I text him, and an English voice says whatever I'm texting, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell him 1819 News, your editorial, and the date of it, okay?
Yeah.
And then I know that Jeff Poore is going to come on. He comes on his show every Wednesday, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, Jeff is in the movie because I drew the movie in the Alabama Solution.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, Jeff Poore really kind of went along with me because Dale Jackson hasn't watched the movie. And if anybody's watched the movie, Dale Jackson is acting just like the two Birmingham people that were very detrimental in their speech. So I was going to tell you, if you get a chance, because you can watch Dale's show, you might want to watch it for this morning because it has everything to do with Sonny Burton, Alabama Solution, and you. And let's see, what else was I going to tell you?
Well, no, but don't make me go do homework. What did Dale say?
Well, he didn't really, he didn't say much about, anything that you said because he hadn't read the article, which was very good to his
That's
extent.
good.
But he
Yeah, I
was
like
just,
Dale.
he was just really, really, I don't get to talk back to him, so he can kind of leave things out that need to be said. You get what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I hear what you're
And
saying.
so, yeah, that kind of. But I wanted to tell you, as far as the lightning bug, y'all, up here about 15 miles from where I live, a movie was filmed in Coleman called Lightning Bug about a stepfather that works at the chicken plant loosely and a guy that does horror makeup. And it stars the redheaded girl from that 70s show. And so it's a really interesting thing if you ever just go on there and watch it, to hear all the Coleman language and the different things and stuff, And in the other parts of it, you remember the guy that plays Animal with the beard on those movies about the nerds and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, he was almost in it, so he's in the outtakes up near Hansville. So that's kind of a neat thing.
Okay. You talking about the guy that goes, nerds?
Yeah. Like
Revenge
he
of
was
the
almost
Nerds,
in the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
He was almost in the movie, so he's in the outtake.
Then I got to watch it because I like him.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for a great show, and I just thought you don't mind me bringing up that you wrote that, do you?
No, and if people read it carefully, I was prepared for either decision.
Joey was very
right, and I knew that you were, so that kind of but he was really letting Kay Ivey have it terribly, and yeah.
Well, I
And
guess
then,
I just
you know,
disagree with Dale, but I appreciate him.
And he refuses to watch the Alabama Solution. Have you guys watched it?
No, I have not.
I have.
Yet. It's on HBO?
Please.
I have.
Yes, it's like
and-
$8.95.
Yeah.
Please.
Did you see the director on the I'm not Jimmy Kimmel, on the Jimmy Fallon show online? Did you see? I mean, it's pretty damning. It's pretty damning. The governor.
It really is. And listen, I don't know if you remember or you even know, Troy, but I rode with them to Montgomery with the crew for 14 hours.
You told
and
me
the other co-producer, Charlotte, I know her. She bought us lunch.
That's nice.
Okay.
So
I know you're involved with it.
Well, Charles, I'll have to get on it. I just haven't
they're
yet.
very Christian persons, okay? So thanks a lot.
You're
Bye.
welcome, buddy.
I got to hit this break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
If you're tired of average meals and rush dining, come see us. Epicure and Jack's Tavern offers wet-aged steaks cut in-house, scratch-made lunches, unbeatable beer buckets, and unforgettable dinners. This is food made with pride and served with heart. We invite you to come visit soon at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. You'll taste the difference.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back, folks. Well, normally we'd be talking to Ray Bowles, but I couldn't get a hold of him. Maybe he's out turkey hunting right now. So, just a reminder there at Prattville Carpet, they can lay down all sorts of new flooring for you. Of course, carpet, traditional hardwood. Think about those epoxy floors.
I love this.
And they always have great deals, discounts going on. And what you just need to do, if you're thinking about resurfacing something, just call them up, 285-8117. And they'll come out. Yeah.
Free estimate.
Free in-home measurement. They'll visit you, give you a free estimate.
Give you your options.
Pick out your product, and they'll get the floor down just that simple. Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Troy, those fellows on the radio, sent you. Let's go to east of the Rockies. Say east.
Gandalf.
Very quickly, I wanted to ask you and Troy, I've been out of the truck for the last hour and a half. Have you heard anything about Iran's threat to attack California with drones?
Yeah, I saw that. That looks like meaningless chatter to the most part. They don't. Listen, I say this, East. If they had the capability, they would have executed. They would have preemptively executed. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, and it wasn't even the Pentagon or big national. It was FBI.
It's
apparently.
FBI. Yeah, they just got some chatter.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of reminds me of the mouse that roared, but it's not as benign, you know?
Well, you know, think about it this way. Joey and I were
wish we
talking-
were up against Peter Sellers. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Listen, I just want to say something. Joey kind of hit on it earlier in between the breaks when he said, why about the mining in the Gulf? And I was explaining how decentralized everything is. And their whole method and tactic and procedure is to cause chaos, anxiety, stress, and try to break down markets and just general good order in our country. So that's kind of expected.
Yeah. Well, do your worst. We can make you go away. So.
Yep.
Hey guys, thanks a bunch. Good show so far.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we got a whole other one tomorrow and the day after that.
And another one after, and then guess what?
Right.
It's like Groundhog Day. It starts back
like
up
you have a
again.
whole other new week.
You'll have new news over the weekend, which you're trying not to look at. So
I guess I'll see you Friday.
I will be here Friday. Yes.
And well, Eddie will be here tomorrow.
Will Edward be with? Is Edward okay?
Yeah, he'll be back tomorrow.
Make sure you got somebody flying with you.
And we'll see what the news brings. We'll see what the latest in the war brings.
I just want to say this. I believe that in the next 7 to 10 days, some decisive outcomes are going to be cemented in the Persian Republic.
So y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell and Pamela and the whole gang. They are next.
They're better looking than we are.
Yes, they are.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.